So friends, today we are gonna see what if Naruto was got powers wings of a butterfly and soul trapped movie. Naruto Uzumaki is a new man, or rather, a newly made man, for the simple reason that he just turned 18 and he is a man with a history. At 12, for example, the boy and his then genin team fought the infamous Abusa and survived and then completed their first mission while bringing down the tyrannical businessman named Gato. At 13, he fought his best friend to a stalemate that changed the landscape of the Valley of the End before leaving on a training trip that would last for the better part of 2.5 years. In which he got his first kill. At 16, he ended the Fourth Shinobi War and then he saw Sakura die, stabbed from behind by the man he once called brother. Enraged, he did all in his power to destroy his former brother, but Sasuke was elusive, cunning, fast, powerful, godlike. But so was Naruto. For 2 whole years, the blonde chased the Uchiha around the elemental nations. Literally, there was no stopping, no resting, there was, simply, the chase. The destruction they caused as the two flew around the elemental nations was great, but ultimately repairable. Mother Nature always did that. However, Sasuke ran out of chakra, Naruto did not. Sasuke and Naruto were godlike, yes, but they were far from gods. Naruto, however, was a Jinchuriki, and with his teamwork with Kurama, he had a chakra replenishment rate far greater than his chakra consumption rate. This is why now, Naruto stands over Sasuke's lifeless, soulless body, his 2 eyes missing, and both boys, right back at the very start. The Valley of the End. A fitting place for an ending. And just as it was before, so too it shall be now, a place of a new beginning. A flash of white blinds the blonde. Now, he stands in a white void. What the? Ah, immortal, good, a voice booms. I was wondering when I could pluck another random one out, well, another random version of you, anyway. Boo. Ah, shush, its command is heated, although Naruto realizes it is done so rather forcefully, as he is unable to even open his mouth, no matter how hard he tries. Good, now that I have your attention, here's what will happen. I will send you to a different world. I will give you no knowledge of it, you have to survive there. Thrilling, I know, but here's the catch. Naruto can feel the voice somehow smile a big toothy smile. One the blonde does not return, the voice continues, I can guarantee you will find happiness there, mortal, but you see, there is a boy in that world, trapped like a bird in a cage, and he is begging to be free, not consciously, mind you, but his soul screams, again and again, it shouts in agony, an annoyance to my ears, really. But we gods and goddesses are not meant to interfere in different worlds, not unless it affects us greatly, and this boy's soul, oh, it affects my sleep greatly, it woke me from my slumber, it's only a matter of time before it wakes others too, so, you don't have a choice on the matter, I took you out of your world because you have power. And this power is theoretically enough to stop that annoying crying for release, free him from his cage, Uzumaki Naruto, by any means necessary, it'll give you a human century to do it, oh, and here's a red scarf, it's made by that busty Hyuga chick that has a lot of hentai fans and haters, not that you know what that is, but unfortunately, due to circumstances I won't bother getting into. Such as you and her having no character development, here are some shit, I just plucked it out from that universe where you guys did. He waves off the blonde's confused expression and moves on, that and it'll be a cold time to where you're heading. Now go, shoo, oh, and for the fun of it, I'm keeping Kurama with me, although it'll allow you to access some of his chakra for the sake of the rule of cool, besides, you're overpowered even without him, I'll see you when you die, Uzumaki. Remember. The god of chaos, that's me, by the way, if you didn't guess it yet, loves his, aka. My, sleep. The voice seems to wave before Naruto is once again thrust out into the tunnel of light, but now without his longest companion. Only one thought runs through his mind, oh, for fuck's sake, give him a break already. Chapter 1 . This was not what Naruto had in mind when he turned 18, this was not what he expected after 2 years of chasing down the Uchiha, nowhere in his plans did he ever think of being sent to another world, another dimension, even, nowhere was it also stated that he, of all people, would revert to his 13-year-old, 13y, oh, self. Or left in the middle of a clearing. In the middle of nowhere. At night of all times possible. FWOOO. Or in the middle of winter. Right, god of fucking chaos, Naruto pats himself clear of snow and looks at his clothes, his attire when he was 12 and 13 years of age, kunai holster and all, oddly enough, with a black short sleeve undershirt under his orange jacket, and boxers, of course, and his red scarf, at least he was given a set of new, well, relatively new although technically old clothes and gear. And a scarf, a specifically red scarf, sighing, he closes his eyes and tries to draw upon his power. How considerate, he muses as he realizes his chakra control is still just as masterful as it was when he was promptly ripped from his world, and his chakra pool is also just as big, okay, maybe not a total ass, he thinks to himself, I'll miss Kurama though, he sighs before shaking his head. His mind partially wandering to the thoughts of the now deceased Sakura. Thankfully, she no longer weighs on his mind too much, seeing as, well, he chased Sasuke for over 2 years and got his revenge. That aside, that god of chaos or some shit didn't bother giving him any information on this world. Well, as a shinobi, it is nothing new to the blonde. It is much less preferable to the much more preferred experience of being given at least some information before being thrown into the unknown. Oh well, no time like the present, Naruto sarcastically thinks as he rolls his eyes. Time to get to work. It takes him the better half of 2 hours of walking to see any sign of things other than plains and the occasional trees. The first very notable landmark he sees is an area of giant trees. As in really giant trees, it could give the forest of death a run for its money if only there was deadlier wildlife around and if only its area was slightly bigger. The lack of moonlight from the thick canopy does little to aid this fact. Upon entering the area and leaping through the branches, Naruto sees his first sign of civilization, a road that runs through the middle of the forest. A single road. Going one way or the other. A simple option for a man, well, currently boy, such as he. A spell once you see signs of civilization. 2 shadow clones appear, without the need for hand seals, almost immediately after the words were said and begin running. Taking his surroundings into consideration, Naruto creates a small army of clones and nods to them, and each of them spread out in different directions all around him. Their job. Map out as much of the immediate terrain as possible. Let it be known, then, that Naruto does not need to give a command to his clones verbally. His reason for doing it, to quote a busty blonde Kumonin, is simply because it's cool, and the rule of cool occasionally, in Naruto's opinion, takes precedence. A similarity, he notes, he has with that damn god of chaos. Giving a tired sigh, the blonde sits on the branch he is on and rests as he concentrates on circulating his chakra throughout his body. Maybe he'll play with Senjutsu as well. He'll be in for a long day, after all. Wings of a butterfly . After a good 3 hours of meditation, his eyes snap open as the memories of one of his clones reach him. The first sign of civilization, a homestead with a flower garden and hung animal skins nearby with a small enough plot of land dedicated to food production. A self-sustaining home, it seems. Almost nodding to himself, Naruto rises and stretches before an orange pigment appears around his eyes which turn yellow and frog-like, actually, almost goat-like, what with the horizontal irises and all. Boom, he zips through the air and lands outside the area of the giant trees, taking in his surroundings. He notes how the sun has begun to rise while he was still in the giant forest. Time to get going, I guess. He makes a beeline for the homestead, his estimated time of arrival. 1 hour, a third of the time it took his clone now that he is boosted by nature's energy. Wings of a butterfly . A small girl at the age of 9, with beautiful black hair, smiles at her parents as they prepare for her meal. The mother of the girl speaks with a gentle smile. Mikasa, why don't you help your father cut the vegetables? He'll set the table, we have an appointment with Dr. Grisha, so he should be on his way over here with his son. Okay, mom. The now identified Mikasa smiles her answer in a sing-song voice. She, the diligent daughter that she is, goes over to her father to help him prepare their vegetables. A good hour or so passes as Mikasa and her family get ready for the visit of one Grisha Yeager and his son. Now sure, a salad might be fast, but with the knowledge that Grisha's son, a boy named Iran, is far from the biggest fan of vegetables, the family decided on making soup and some deliciously smelling, well-seasoned, and decently proportioned meat. Knock. The father pauses as he looks to the door. I guess they're early. Walking to the door, the man smiles. Dr. Ka. He immediately clutches a knife stabbed into his stomach. Father. Honey. Wings of a butterfly . Naruto arrives in a record of 45 minutes, it's much less than a third the time it took his clone. Seeing the homestead, the blonde takes in a breath, observing the outside. He notes how the house has a chimney where smoke rises to keep its occupants warm. Certainly, lucky bastards, having a warm home while he's out in the cold. Sighing, he drops down and conceals his presence, while adding another layer of concealment using nature's energy. One of the ways he discovered could make him invisible to any chakra sensors in his own world. Not that it had much application against Madara and Sasuke when he fought them, since they fought in the open, but still, better safe than sorry. With his red scarf around his lower face, the mist from his breathing in this cold morning is rendered near invisible as he listens in. At first, he thinks that his hearing worsened after entering this world, what with him being unable to understand what the family is saying even with him being so close. After a minute of straining his ears to the max, however, his eyes widen in realization. It isn't that his hearing has worsened, oh no, they're perfectly fine, maybe even better than ever. Instead, it is that he understands nothing because they are speaking an entirely different language from him. Well, shitballs in a cheha, he'll have to learn an entirely new language from scratch. At least I'm 13 again, hopefully, this means I'll absorb this new language faster than if I was already grown up, and then a thought strikes him, mother f this means I have to talk like a 13-year-old again wait. Shit. This also means I have to talk like a 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old, and 17-year-old again when I reach those ages. Not like that changed much when you grew up, the blonde can practically hear Kurama say from the other dimension. Granted, it is a fair point, imaginary Kurama, fair point, okay, back to the younger me it is then, Naruto sighs. It is here that 5 new presences enter his area of awareness. All heading towards the homestead he is currently at. And not the friendly or wholesome energy vibe Hess getting from the 3 occupants in the home too. Hide it is, he muses before leaping to the nearby trees. Because no one really bothers looking up. A long 5 minutes later, the blonde watches as the 5 new presences, 5 men of different builds to be exact, arrive at the homestead, not that their builds matter to him. Deciding to first wait and see, Naruto's stomach churns as the first man stabs the father with a knife and the 2 women call out in horror. The rest of the men pour in. Now, Naruto is a shinobi no mono wo's been through war, he had grown patient, especially with chasing down Sasuke for an entire 2 years without stopping. He was patient enough to see what they would do, for as long as they would not harm the child, he was willing to jump in after they were all comfortable when they'd let their guard down. But the act of 2 of the men, one smacking the now resisting child away and the next ripping the front of her clothes off. This will not stand. Wings of a butterfly . Mikasa's eyes widen in horror as she sees her father get stabbed in the stomach. Father? Honey. She and her mother call out in reflex, before her mother can act, 4 men charge in, while the man who stabbed her father waits by the door. Immediately, her mother is smacked aside and is held at knife point. We're getting paid a lot because of you, and you even have a daughter. Ha. One of the men leers at the girl, hey, boss. They never said anything about refusing damaged goods. Plus. This brat wasn't part of the contract. Whatever, you sick fuck, the man by the door grumbles, just make it quick, we should be leaving now anyway. Let my mother go. Mikasa charges and, with the strength of a normal child, hits the man who pushes her off him. Smack she goes crashing to the floor as another man backhands her. Her eyes widen in horror as the cool breeze brushes against her now exposed front, the sensation of her front clothes ripping reaches her only after. And no. Her mother cries, you bastards. She's just 9. Let her go. Mikasa does not register the look of horror on her father's face as he lies, almost lifeless, unable to do anything to save her. She does not register her mother trying desperately to free herself. What she notices instead. Is the sudden drop of pressure, the sudden stillness of the world, and how everything almost looks like they exist only shades that are blue and gray. Whee-ish. And a very vibrant red. What the? Boom splat. One man drops dead as blood sprays from his throat, another man's head explodes and splatters brain and skull to the walls and ceiling. The culprit. A boy who is no older than the age of 13. The question of the men and Mikasa's and her mother's thoughts are interrupted as the boy grabs 2 nearby kitchen knives without hesitation and flings them to the man who hit Mikasa and the man holding her mother hostage. The last man promptly falls on his ass, the very same man who ripped off the front of Mikasa's clothes. Tap 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 tap. Crunch. Naruto gives the man a flying knee to the face after running up and kicking off to boost the damage. Crunch, the man's facial bones echo as Naruto lands with his knee still attached to the man's face. Splat uo. The bastard howls in pain as Naruto kicks and squashes his balls. And just like that, the drop of pressure vanishes while Naruto still seethes in rage. Mercy. Mercy. The man cries as he clutches his nuts with one hand and has his other hand outstretched and frantically waving in defeat and fear. Now, Naruto may not understand the words, yes, but he sure as hell understands the gesture. Thus, he replies rightly, you're begging for mercy. Like hell I'll show you mercy. Only the eyes of the mother and the dying father widen in surprise, while the man and the girl look on in confusion at what the blonde said, but mostly, respectively, the girl and man look on in awe and fear. But I suppose I'm not the one meant to pass judgment on you, the blonde says as he walks over to the girl who is still frozen in place, removing his jacket and draping it around her, before gently guiding her arms through his jacket sleeves. He promptly zips up the jacket keeping the girl modest, while leaving him with his black shirt and his red scarf to keep his torso and neck warm. And then to the horror of the girl's parents, he gives the girl an odd-looking knife, a knife, mind you, he pulled out from almost thin air, although if one looked closely, it came from the now unclipped kunai holster. Gesturing with a hand, he motions back and forth between the blade and the man, and giving his best guess of it's up to you. The hesitation is only but a moment. The girl screams as tears fill her eyes. The knife plunging again and again. Into the man's chest. Each plunge is accompanied by loud grunts of hate that only grow louder as they become heavier. Shink. 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 I. The girl glares at the person who halts her vengeance. She glares at the person holding her hands from plunging the knife any further. How dare they stop her, how dare they, and then she sees it. Locking with the most beautiful cerulean eyes she's ever seen. The pair that stares back her obsidian orbs with a knowing sadness, empathy, not pity, to be sure, and it breaks the dam. Ai. The girl clings to the stranger of a boy, her tears flowing freely, her cries now of relief, pain, hurt and sadness, undeniably different from her earlier cries of rage and disgust. Soothing as it may be for her, however, the 13-year-old knows that there is only so much time in being able to live from a stab to the gut, thus, he brings the girl over to the mother, both of whom now hug each other in relief, while the blonde himself makes his way to the father, pulling a roll of bandages from his waist pouch. He wraps it around the man's wound while subtly using his still existing power of the sun, the one given by the sage, the very same power he used to save Might Guy, to now save this man's life. "I'll be alright," the boy says. "Thank you." Naruto's eyes widen at the man's words, "You know my language." His tone being more of surprise than curiosity. The man can't help but smirk, "My wife knows more, kid, but yes." Glancing at the woman, Naruto sees her smile and nod, unsure of what to do, let alone what to reply. He gives her a hesitant nod in return. He turns his attention to the freshest corpse and gives an internal sigh. 23 stabs, 20 more than needed, overkill, for sure, but he won't blame the girl. If anything, it was far more merciful than what he would have done to the man. 2 years of chasing someone while focused on revenge can mentally screw up even the happiest person, after all, and sometimes. It's the kindest people who are capable of the vilest acts. Shaking away those thoughts for another time, the blonde sighs and stands, best to clean this up. With a practiced fake, but genuinely sounding grunt, the boy begins to drag the nearest corpse away, much to the shock of the family. The parents view it as shockingly horrifying, almost as if the boy's been doing this his whole life. The girl, however, looks on in shock and wonder at how he can keep calm before she chooses to go and help. Mikasa. Her daughter's eyes catch her, "Mother, please," they seem to beg. Sharing a look with her husband, the mother gives a resigned sigh before nodding. Mikasa gives a sad smile before rushing over to help the boy. Together, they clear 2 bodies, the ones who were killed by thrown kitchen knives. The boy, you see, strictly forbade Mikasa to help him clear the body with the splattered brains, while the girl also refused to even go near the body of the man who ripped her clothes off, the very same man she stabbed to death. The mother, being the only adult that could move freely, helped out by helping her husband to the couch before cleaning the splatter of brains from the wall. And then she pauses, splatter. She saw it happen. The punch that made the second corpse's head explode. "No, that's not possible." She glances at the boy who is now mopping the floor clean from blood. "That shouldn't be possible," she thinks to herself, yet, as the minutes pass by, the boy slowly but surely finishes his area after having to get fresh snow and melting it by the house's fireplace. After almost every use due to the amount of blood, the mother sighs, "Where are you from?" Naruto blinks, how should he answer that? After finding out that he couldn't understand them at first, he was ready to just up and leave. He was not expecting, could not expect that someone from an alternate dimension spoke the same language as him, especially after having heard a different language much earlier. "Where are you from?" The boy's eyes meet the woman's before he sighs. His musing prompted her to ask the question again. Best he answers her then, but what should he say? He seemingly struggles before sighing. "I'm from far away, I don't want to talk about it," he says as he brings the last bucket of bloodied mop water out and walks close to the nearby woods to dump it out. "Mom?" The mother blinks, "Yes, dear." She turns her head to her daughter with a comforting smile. I don't understand what you're saying." "Mikasa," the girl's father calls. The girl herself runs over to his side. "Don't worry, I think," he glances towards his wife, "I think your mother will agree that it's about time you learn your mother's language." He sees his wife nod, causing him to smile. When his eyes meet his daughter's own, his smile can only widen. For Mikasa's eyes shine with something akin to wonder, joy, and interestingly enough, hope, "So I can talk with him." She beams, her eyes now also showing an addition of excitement, which is subtly crushed by her father's amused chuckle. "It's not an easy language, you know," her mother adds in an amused tone as the woman makes her way over. "It will take years to learn how to write it." The woman glances through a window to where the boy is. "But if you're studious, I'm sure you'll be able to understand us and maybe even talk to him." Looking back at her baby girl, she smiles, "Do you want that?" Mikasa's response consists of enthusiastic nods, making her mother smile. And it is at this moment the mysterious boy enters the house, almost shyly, actually, standing by the door, he gives the girl an awkward wave and then looks to her parents, so he starts, "I guess I'll go now. I hope you guys stay safe." Wait. To the blonde surprise, it is the mother who calls to him, "Why yes. Why don't you stay with us for today? It will only get colder later, we made a lot of food anyway so." The boy chuckles, "I'm sorry, but I really should go." The mother sighs and nods, "Of course, stupid of me, your parents must be worried." The boy simply gives her a chuckle, "Well, I guess, see ya." He waves and walks away. Wait. Or he would have if the sudden shout from the girl didn't cause him to pause mid-step, he turns back to see the girl now standing in front of him, fast, he realizes. "Why your name?" the girl asks. "What?" At first, blushing furiously before taking a deep breath, the girl, still wearing his orange jacket, gestures to herself, "Mikasa." Eyes widening in realization, the blonde scratches his head in a sheepish apology, "Naruto," he replies, but he is not prepared for the sudden embrace he receives. "Thank you." People say actions speak louder than words, in this case, that statement proves itself true. For even with his lack of understanding of these people's first language, he understands the gesture and can only reply with a smile and pats the girl's head making her look up at him, their eyes locking, seemingly sparkling, even, cute the blonde muses and nods. "Stay." Naruto blinks, "What?" "Stay." As the two children continue locking eyes, the mother tries her hardest to suppress a giggle, while the father looks on worriedly. The mother can only muse on how it takes a little girl to try and convince the boy to stay, while the father hopes that his daughter isn't getting her first crush. It doesn't matter if the boy saved him, damn it. No one will have my little Mikasa. You might as well just stay, Naruto, right? The mother asks with her gentle whilst remembering the boy's name. Sheepishly rubbing his head, he tries to reply, but I don't want to. Stay." The difference in tone reaches Naruto's ears, unable to help himself, he looks back down and notices Mikasa's new gleam in her eyes, one he knows too well, stubbornness. Now sure, being a super ninja from a different dimension had its perks, such as being able to instantly leave, for example, but Naruto Uzumaki was Naruto, that is to say that he is a boy who tries his best to help others or keep others happy, even if his innocence is gone, especially after coming from a world where the concept of child soldiers is a norm, and being the people pleaser that he is. Naruto sighs, fine, he says with a nod and steps back inside, making Mikasa give him a big victory smile which he promptly squints at, albeit playfully so. Wings of a butterfly equals. It isn't long before Naruto meets Dr. Grisha Yeager and the doctor's son Eren Yeager. His impression of the boy is more of an annoyance, really, see, even if he doesn't understand the words themselves, every time Eren looked at him, his brow twitches when can just feel the insult of him being called stupid for not knowing their language. Its understanding is only helped by Dr. Grisha's constant but light scolding as well as Mikasa constantly glaring at the brown-haired boy whenever said boy looks at Naruto, while Mikasa's parents also give looks of slight disapproval looks that Eren seems to have missed. Thankfully, they soon leave, but not after Grisha congratulates Naruto's treatment of the wound. A wound that, honestly, would have led to the death of Mikasa's father if Naruto lost the power of the sun given by the sage, thankfully he didn't. As for his clones, well they soon dispelled after a month of exploring, one where some even ended up crossing paths, a giant circular stretch of land in between two walls, each wall being 50 meters tall, but any questions these raise are for a later time. When asked about his parents, Naruto simply said "Oh, I actually don't have any" before being rudely interrupted by Mikasa's mother, who he now addresses as Mrs. Ackerman. Mr. Ackerman, obviously Mikasa's father, for his part nods along until his brain pulls out all the mental stops possible when Mikasa's mother teases the girl on having a crush on Naruto. Thankfully for the girl, the Mrs. does so in their common language, but when Mikasa huffed and blushed at the accusation, well. It's merely safe to say that the man's mental state is certainly being tested. Of course, with Naruto not having any parents and his wife soon suggesting, "Why don't you live with us?" he almost mentally crashes. His mind almost completely crashed when Mikasa practically demanded, for the first time, that Naruto stay with him. Mr. Ackerman has shut down, restart required. Thankfully for the girl, her mother nodded in agreement. Which is why now, Naruto is stuck living with the Ackerman family while being taught by Mrs. Ackerman and on occasion by Mikasa about the language. He, in turn, tries to work with Mrs. Ackerman to teach Mikasa their language, which is apparently called Oriental, at least in this world. Mr. Ackerman, after having rebooted himself, goes over to Naruto to teach the blonde his trade, hunting, and he always wanted a son, anyway, might as well, or he can try and make a real son with his wife, seeing as they are both alive after that crazy day, maybe both. Both is good. And so the next 2 years pass in a blur. Wings of a butterfly . A steady gaze, a twitch of the ears, and a twitch of the nose, these are the things a deer does when it hears the rustling of nearby shrubs while looking for any threat. Bang. Unfortunately for the deer, it's far too slow for its hunter. Thud. And far less crafty. Naruto Uzumaki, now age 15, at least physically, drops down from a few branches above the dead deer, a rifle slung on his back. Youth these days, honestly, a voice from behind him calls. Mr. Ackerman, the teen smiles. The man walking up to the teen waves dismissively, I swear, if you keep killing them in these ways I can't even follow or copy. I don't see my point being the hunter of the family, the man laughs, before frowning and ruffling the boy's hair, and how many times must I tell you to call me dad? Naruto snorts, don't you have 2 new kids to call you that, now? Mr. Ackerman grumbles something about Smartalex before returning his attention to the blonde. Well, I'll have you know that should my daughter ever marry, I'd want it to be you. Then he grins, besides, my babies seem to be fond of you, only for Naruto to wave him off. The twins. They're only 1-year-olds, they'll probably grow out of it. Well, it's only thanks to you that they're here, my wife and I wouldn't have the chance if we both died, after all. Naruto's response involves a roll of his eyes, and you forced me to choose between calling you Mr. Ackerman or dad last year. The man in question huffs, only because you kept calling me old man, I'm not old. Another roll of the eyes, and Naruto says everyone grows old. Forever young, my boy. I am, forever, young. Ha 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 ha. Naruto snorts before a small smile tugs his lips. Yeah, we gotta go, Mr. Ackerman sir. He then hoists the dead deer onto his shoulder. Wouldn't want to get Mikoto or Sarada starving since we're taking so long, now, would we? This time, it's Mr. Ackerman's turn to snort. They'll be fine, I'm more worried about my wife, they sure take a lot out of her. Please, Naruto manages to say through a laugh, only because you enjoy sucking her too bonku. And how would you know that? Rubbing his head with his free hand, Naruto answers with a twitching brow, you two aren't exactly subtle about it, do you know how hard it is to keep Mikasa asleep when you guys go at it? Sheesh. She almost walked out on you guys in the living room, you know, he sighs and shakes his head, I didn't know you and Mrs. Ackerman were so kinky, wanting to be heard and all. The man, for his part, blushes up a storm. Naruto thanks the heavens that the man's too embarrassed to look him in the eye, that he actually walks faster and ends up a lot of paces in front of the blonde, otherwise, had seen Naruto's awkward walk, what with having to deal with a harden as a quick memory between the two adults resurfaces. Wings of a butterfly . The grunts and screams of pleasure echo throughout the house, one that has Naruto sighing as he walks up to Mikasa's bed just in time for her to stir before he places his index onto her forehead, putting her back to sleep. Oh? Yes. Fuck me. His brow twitches in annoyance, did the two not sleep? Deciding to go back to B, he puts his pillow over his head. Squeak. What the fuck? He almost jumps out of bed in rage. He practically did, actually. The twins were fine, they'd sleep well enough, but come on. He has to make sure Mikasa stays asleep. And what about his sleep? Silently marching to the door, he moves to open the door stealthily so as to not wake the girls, opening it a crack, he freezes. Before him are 2 adults who go at it like rabbits, with Mrs. Ackerman shirtless but with her skirt still on, while Mr. Ackerman has all his clothes on but his pants around his legs. So that's why in some mornings they look like they had a very rough sleep, the 2 rabbits have rough sex. No wonder. And then their eyes meet, Naruto's are unable to pull away as Mrs. Ackerman winks at him as Chess on the table, which is now squeaking, while Chess pounded from behind. Frozen and unsure what to do, Naruto watches with a very uncomfortable feeling in his bulging pants before reality slowly gets back to him, and now, instead of going out to stop them, he simply and quite stealthily closes the door before promptly returning to his bed to try and sleep. It takes him a good 3 hours, but sleep finally claims him. Wings of a butterfly . Yep, Naruto nods to himself as he tries to shake the memory away, definitely kinky. Damn it kid, hurry up. Hurrying, Mr. Ackerman. Wings of a butterfly. Back in the realm where the god of chaos resides, the god hums to himself as he plucks out one soul after another and sends them to the world of Attack on Titan, but unknown to the mortals of that plane, he sends them back 13 years before Naruto's arrival, all without any memories of who they are from Naruto's world. Do you think Naruto will be amused to see this? Kurama asks. Well, can he do anything to stop it? The god asks back, I thought not, besides, I'm not sending everyone, just a few. He opens 2 different portals and smiles as one soul from each of the new portals floats out. What do you think of Mikoto and Sarada? How should I know? They rent the ones from the dimension I come from. The god shrugs, well, he flings them to the same plane Naruto is on, but this time, around 1 year after Naruto's arrival, might as well have some fun while we're at it. You mean while you're at it? Arriving home from their hunt, Mr. Ackerman and Naruto Uzumaki begin to prep the meat from their hunt. It takes them the rest of the day to skin the deer and properly harvest its organs before the man tells the teen to go ahead and wash while he finishes preparing the deer. Dinner comes quickly and the family of 5 plus 1 are all accounted for with the twins, Mikoto and Sarada, falling asleep fairly quickly, one of the rare times, to be sure, but one in which their parents are secretly glad for. It is Naruto who brings them to their cradle located in his and Mikasa's room, while the rest continue with their dinner. As dinner ends, Mr. Ackerman clears his throat, so, Naruto, are you going to tell them, or should I? The 2 females present look to the blonde in question, tell them. Tell them what, precisely? Ah, Naruto lets out and nods, I'm going to join the military. His eyes lock with the 2 Ackerman ladies, and he smiles, I'm of age, he tells the truth, I want to see the world, a lie that comes as natural as breathing, and maybe I'll even find my family, another lie that comes just as smoothly as the first, and then, Mikasa, who sits right beside him, blushes when he places his hand on her head. His hand is heavy but not painful, it is a loving touch, and maybe I'll earn enough to bring you guys somewhere safer than this big open plain between Walmaria and Walrose. But. Naruto ruffles the 11-year-old girl's hair making her pout and look at him cutely. He smiles before saying, they said the training will take 3 years, the first boat leaves tomorrow morning. Mrs. Ackerman sighs, is this why I found your things packed already? Yeah, the teen boy nods, I have to leave by 4 o'clock. Don't go. The eyes of the 2 adults give a curious glance to their eldest child. Don't go, Mikasa says again, this time tugging Naruto's shirt, stay. Stay. The very same word Mikasa said to him 2 years prior, stay. His heart churns but his mind knows he cannot stay if he is to free the trapped soul that God of Chaos told him about 2 years prior, and if his gut feeling is anything to go by, then he knows the only way to find it is to prepare for war, after all, if it was a peaceful solution. I doubt Mr. Chaos would bother choosing me if war wasn't part of it, as he'll even let me keep my powers. And the only way to do that is to join the military so that he will be able to kill titans as this world's humans do, foolish for a shinobi to not blend in, after all, and yet. Stay. Stay, he cannot. Sorry, Mikasa, Naruto says with a soft smile, but I want to do this. But. Mikasa, dear. Mrs. Ackerman catches her daughter's attention, come here, she smiles whilst her daughter obeys, albeit hesitantly, I want you to understand. Meanwhile, Mr. Ackerman looks to Naruto and nods, get some rest, kid, we won't stop you, my wife and I will explain to Mikasa why you should go. Naruto nods almost bows, even, then says, thank you, Mr. Ackerman. He receives a nod in return before he walks over to Mikasa and pats her on her head, again gaining smiles from the girl's parents, while the girl herself gives a blushing pout, Oyasumi, Mikasa. Good night, Mikasa. The girl's mind manages to translate, giving the blonde teen a surprising hug, she causes her crush a hem her brother figure, she clarifies, to almost fall. Almost. It takes a while for her to let go, but once she does, Naruto makes his way to their room and triple checks everything he needs before getting some last-minute shut-eye. Wings of a butterfly. Naruto stirs from his slumber as the feeling of constant poking on his cheek begins to annoy him. Mikasa, he warns with his eyes still closed. It's already 3:30, you know. Mikasa deadpans. Sighing and finally opening his eyes, he is greeted by Mikasa's blank and annoyed stare. Hey, he sits up, who said you get to look at me annoyed, I'm the one who should be giving you that look for poking my cheek a lot, which he rubs, I think it might be sore. A small giggle that escapes her lips makes the boy smile. You good now? Yeah. It'll return, you know that, right? Yeah. Sighing again, Naruto rolls his eyes before putting his arms out, come here, and calling to her as a master does to a pet, oof. He grunts and a chuckle escapes him as Mikasa practically tackles him, you're getting heavier. I'm growing, she almost growls. I'm teasing. I know. I know you know. I know you know I know. I know you know times infinity. Shut up. Ha. Are you a sore loser? Ouch. Naruto rubs his chest and pokes Mikasa's forehead, pushing her back. No punching my chest, he deadpans. Mikasa's reply is an innocent giggle. Getting off him, she locks eyes with him in her best attempt to give him the puppy eyes that rarely affect the blonde. It'll be cold without you, you know. The said blonde snorts in amusement. Still, if it will be some time before he sees her again, I suppose I can humor her just this once. Going over to his packed luggage, he ignores Mikasa's dejected look and sorts through his things, finding it shortly. Naruto repacks his luggage and walks over to Mikasa, who eyes him curiously before he wraps his red scarf around her neck and lower face. The girl's face glows red. It glows even brighter when Naruto pecks her on her forehead and places a caring hand on her head. "I'll see you soon. This should keep you warm when I'm not around," she hears, his words echoing in her head for a time, causing her to blush up a storm that makes her face match the color of his scarf. No, she corrects herself, her scarf. The moment Mikasa returns to the real world, she realizes that the blonde is gone, along with his things, save his scarf around her neck. And as the cool night breeze enters through the window, Mikasa clenches her hands over her chest. She closes her eyes with a sigh as she seemingly tries to bury her face into the scarf, his scarf, her scarf, and goes to sleep with a contented smile on her face, the blush staying for a good while as the realm of pleasant dreams take her. Wings of a butterfly. Morning comes far too soon for the blonde, he sighs as he plops himself down onto the boat, being one of the earliest for the first ride. Granted, the boat is more of an ark connected to a wire or rope than anything else, seeing as it only goes forward or back, thanks to the gears and wheels attached to the wire or rope thing, a pulley system of sorts, perhaps. Shaking those thoughts away, he eyes the few people who bothered to wake up early just to catch this first boat. Not a lot, to say the least. In fact, there are very few, actually. It's the reason why he chose the first boat. It was and almost always is the only one where it isn't packed full of people. The only other boat that has the same effect is the last, but with the time frame needed to get to the camp, well, best to keep early. Now, as the seventh person arrives, Naruto looks on in boredom at the regular people probably going to work in wall rows. Honestly, now, am I seriously the only guy in this side of wall Maria going to enlist in the military? A total of 13 people now mingle around him, a total of 14 if he counts himself. The conductor, meanwhile, looks at his watch and sighs. Alright. Get rid of the plank. The last one's late, let's go. So, there's supposed to be 15 people, huh? Naruto muses to himself as he stands to stretch. The boat arc thingy begins to move. Pity the late one, he mutters. Hold oop. Everyone's heads turn. Sorry I am late. Come on. The source of the commotion is a girl with short pink hair, green eyes, and a face that Naruto still remembers as clear as day, as if the last time he saw her was just yesterday. Sakura. His eyes widen, his words coming out as a whisper. He does nothing as he watches her garbed in a white button shirt, white fitting pants, brown knee-high boots and waist skirt, and a bag slung along her back running alongside the now moving boat panting. What? Hey, you. Blondie. You better catch me, damn it. While 1,000 thoughts race through his mind, Naruto has his mouth agape at her words. Doesn't she remember me? Wait, is she even Sakura? Here I come. Immediately pulled from his thoughts, he sees the girl make the leap. Shit. She won't make it. His eyes widen in realization. Thud. Oof. The blonde catches her and her bag on time. Are you crazy? He pulls her up regardless. Hey the girl pants, collapsing to the wooden floor, her bag lying beside her just across Naruto's bag. Crazy enough, I mean, I came to join the scouts. She laughs before eyeing the teen who caught her, standing and dusting herself. She puts forward a hand. Sakura Haruno. Future Scouting Legion member, at your service. The blonde's hesitation is not lost on her, but her smile widens when he shakes her hand. Nah, Naruto Uzumaki, he says. Naruto, huh? I think we'll get along just well. She pauses, giving him a confused look. You okay there, mister? You look like you've seen a ghost. Patching himself, Naruto shakes his head. Sorry, can I be alone for a bit? Okay. She watches as the blonde who saved her from falling into the canal walks away to a faraway rail by the edge of the boat. Weird guy, she muses. It is here she notices the way he's dressed. A white button shirt, brown white pants, brown knee-high boots and waist skirt, the very same uniform as her own. Smiling, she jogs over to him. Hey. Naruto, right? Huh? Naruto blinks. Oh, why yeah, Sakura. Don't you remember? Sheesh. I just told you my name and you already forgot. Sakura tuts. I didn't, sorry though, just a lot on my mind. Smiling, she rests a hand on her hip. Yeah, sure, anyway. You never said you were going to join the military. That. Naruto gives a sheepish look. Didn't think it was important. You're my age. You're supposed to know how important it is. especially on which branch you plan on joining. Hello. You look, what, 15? 16, maybe? 14 if you're younger than me. Is she really different from the Sakura I knew? Hey. Mister. Are you listening to me? Oh. Why yeah. And what did I say, huh? Sweating nervously, Naruto fidgets almost comically before admitting defeat. Sorry, no, I was lost in thought. Lost in thought? Sakura asks, a genuinely curious look on her, and what in the name of the three walls could be far more interesting than pretty little me, Blondie? Naruto's disarming smile catches her off guard, she almost blushed. Almost, okay maybe just a little bit. You remind me of someone. Okay, scratch that, she thinks, that's a really bad pick-up line you know. Naruto merely laughs it off, I mean it though, he says, unfazed, he had time to get better with word games since his stay in this world, after all. Oh, please, like there'd be any other girl with hair as pink as mine, or a forehead as big as mine, or eyes as green as mine, the last one has Naruto give her a look of amusement, okay, maybe there are some who have green eyes, and some are greener than me, but I mean, come on. Who else has pink hair this side of Walmaria? BFFT. What? The pink cat grows irritated. Nothing, Naruto waves her off, just the fact you resemble her a lot, just without the punching me on the head when she gets annoyed, embarrassed, or irritated. You? Me, yes. Sakura doesn't miss Naruto's reminiscent look, okay, how does she look like? Like you, Naruto shrugs, no point in lying. Sure she does, and even if she does look like me, why haven't I ever seen her before? She's dead. Sakura blinks, that came out flat, direct, bluntly so, oh, well this is awkward, nice going, you idiot. Clearing her throat, she asks as shyly as possible, how'd she die? I mean. If you don't mind, my best friend killed her. What? Let me clarify, Naruto crosses his arms and leans against the ark's wooden railings, the bitch-ass bastard who I thought was my best friend killed her. Oh this is awkward again, oh my god. Somebody kill me Nuo. Yeah. Don't worry, it's been 4 years. Oh, okay she gives a nervous smile, that saved me, wait, can he read my thoughts? Yep. Oh, you can read my thoughts okay, yeah, that makes Wyatt. Wait, you can read my thoughts. BFFT. The tick grows on her forehead, you. I'm sorry, Naruto wipes a tear from his eye, your face just said it all. Huffing, Sakura stomps away back to their bags, it takes some time before the boy calms down enough to just keep a shit-eating grin that still irritates her to a point, but enough for him to walk up to her and wave, so, Mr. I can read faces, she looks him in the eye, what was her name? The pause, again, is not lost to her. The stare is short, but it feels far longer to her than it really is, she cannot help but look away. Sakura, her eyes widen, her name was Sakura. They lock eyes, the pink cat about to accuse him of lying, but those cerulean orbs of Naruto Uzumaki convey a sadness she is yet to understand, convey a longing she has yet to see, convey a reminiscing that tells her that his words, you are not joking, are you? Naruto smiles, she was a healer, of sorts, he chooses his words carefully, while his mind races a different train of thought, you're really not her, and yet somehow, I think you are, he plops back down, next to his bag which he then uses as a pillow. Oh, well, I guess that's another coincidence. I mean, I did my best to study under Dr. Grisha. What? Naruto shoots up to a sitting position. I know, right. She and I are both Sakura, we're both healers. By the walls, you even said she looks like him. No, wait, their eyes lock again, Grisha Yeager. Yeah, why? No, nothing, I only met him once, his kid's annoying though, reminds me of me. Myself. What? Reminds me of myself, Sakura seemingly corrects. Reminds me of myself, Miss Grammar Perfectionist. Sakura waves him off and rolls her eyes, and then. Don't let me stop you. Giving her the same eye roll, Naruto continues, he reminds me of myself when I was younger, just why I am more angsty. Wait, which one, you or him? Biren, if I remember the name correctly. Really? Beep. How you feel way more mature though. Decisions were made, consequences were faced, and actions were forced, Naruto shrugs, I was forced to mature quickly, especially after Sakura's death. Hearing you say my name but mean a different person disturbs me a bit. Naruto snorts out a laugh before toying with his thoughts, he voices them shortly after, hey. Maybe you are her? Ha. Don't be stupid, you said she died 4 years ago, sorry for your loss, by the way, if I haven't said that already. Naruto waves her off. How would that even work, anyway? Sakura ponders aloud. Well, there are beings beyond our understanding, they're capable of many things. Sure, I'm guessing this is a god or something you're talking about. Please, titans exist, and even we don't know much about them yet. Okay, you know what? Fair point. I try. So what now? Naruto grins, this time lying back down, now I think he'll sleep, I woke up early just so I could leave by 4, you know. Wow, that far, huh? Alright lazy boy, I'll wake you when we get there. Smiling, Naruto covers his eyes with his arms again, thanks, Sakura. Wings of a butterfly Naruto. Naruto. Hey Naruto. Naruto. Wake up. Ooh lives in a pineapple under the sea. What the fuck was that? Naruto groggily looks around and, as innocent as a babe, he asks everyone looking at him like he grew a second head, what was what? Never mind, Sakura grumbles and pinches her nose to hide her blush of embarrassment. Speaking of embarrassments, just stand up, you embarrassing fool, you're way better awake than half awake. Well, I guess that's the idea, not much action when asleep or half asleep, right? Naruto slurs. A deep intake of breath. Jaya. Naruto jolts awake as he hops 1 foot, what was that for? For being an embarrassment. Now come on. Let's go. Watching her storm off, Naruto looks around to see the other passengers and a conductor look at him with judging looks, did I miss something? They all shake their heads in sync. Then he notices something, oh shit. Hey. Sakura. Sakura. Your bag. He dashes after her, 2 bags in hand. Meanwhile, the girl wonders how she even ended up befriending this idiot before calling herself out on being one as well as he shouts for her to slow down, great, more attention brought to us because I left my bag. Sakura, your bag. She snaps, you're carrying it. Plus. It isn't even heavy. Well, yeah, it's not heavy, but it's your bag, why do I have to carry it? Payment for being a walking embarrassment. You're embarrassed. On your behalf. Yes. Why? What, why? I mean, you're so serious, you gotta loosen up a little. Sakura, remembering his earlier answer of not much action when asleep or half asleep, blushes up a storm at his last sentence. Where are we going, anyway? To the military office, duh. Yeah, it's the other way around, right? Sakura stops then storms down the this time correct path, Naruto simply follows her along, which leaves the girl wondering if the blonde is acting so casually in order to irritate her, or because of some other casual reason she dares not ask. The trip to the office is short, told to board the horse cart, the two get on, and are soon joined by a third recruit. A recruit that greets the pincat with a beautiful smile, Sakura. You made it. Did you manage to convince your parents? No. They hug, and no, I had to sneak out, grinning, Sakura points to the only male currently in the cart with them, only thanks to this guy, really, I had to jump to get on that damn boat, you know. Ino smiles, well, look at this catch we have here. Sakura gives a light laugh, still the same as always, she comments only for her to see Naruto's face. Hey, no need to be so shocked, handsome, pretty girls like us are hard to find. Ino says. Sakura, however, ignores her because she knows that look plastered onto Naruto's face all too well, it is, after all, the very same one he gave her after he saved her from falling into the canal, Naruto. Oh, his name's Naruto, huh? The male teen finally snaps back to reality as he nervously introduces himself before telling the two girls, hey, I'm a bit worn out so do you mind if I sleep? Receiving one curious affirmative and one cautious and concerned one, he nods to them gratefully before closing his eyes, and as his fellow blonde looks at him with curiosity, he can feel the pitying gaze of the pincat, all the while, his thoughts simply wonder, how many more old faces will pop up in this world? TBC announcements part 1 I'm thinking of tackling a Dota. Dragon's Blood fanfiction, yes, not a Naruto crossover, but a pure fanfic of that Netflix series, because Marcy and Lena deserve way more love than they were given, shit left me sad. Anyway. Speaking of which. Request to your readers Please give the story High Priestess Marcy a read. It's written by ANNB11, and I told them it'd give making a fic with Marcy as one of the focused characters a shot soon. However, I need to rewatch everything, but their story is great. Different take on things, and it shows a lot of promise, so please give it a read. Because so far, as of February 12, 2022, it only has 4 favs and 7 follows. It's a crime for such an interesting story to go under the radar. So please, give the story a read. It only has one chapter as of February 12, 2022, and it was published on January 19, 2022. So yes, please go over there and give them a review. It's just 1 chapter and it's a short one too. And if you like it, send them my regards as well please, or just review it. And of course, follow and fav if you like it. Not being told to advertise this, by the way, it's just interesting and shows a lot of promise that I wanted to succeed. And I think they're one of the authors who reply to each user review via PM as well. They replied to mine, at least. The sun beats down onto Paradise Island. Throughout the Soul Kingdom of the land, 8 training grounds are packed with new cadets. In the southern division of Walrose in particular, there stands a division of 100 men and women. Many of whom are now sweating as their instructor grills them while they roast underneath the sun, some of whom are jogging around the campsite, making sure the sun cooks them from every angle. Safe to say, some of the cadets being grilled will be either well done or overcooked. Name? Sakura Haruno, sir. What kind of pussy-ass name is that? The name of the future medic for the scouts, sir. Is that so, Cadet Haruno? Sir. Yes. Sir. A noble goal. Well said. Join the others and give me 50 laps. Thank you, sir. The instructor, a bald man with hollow eyes, eyes his next target. This man is Keith Shadis. Name? Ino Yamanaka, sir. Why are you here, cadet? Sir. To join the scout, sir. Ha. With that build you'll be Titan food in no time. Get running, cadet. 75 laps. Thank you, sir. Name? Slowly but surely, the formation disintegrates, and as it does, courtesy of Keith Shadis' indoctrination and welcome party, 4 people remain untouched. 4 out of 100. Keith was expecting none, so, to have even 4 people stand out from 100. To say he is surprised is an understatement, and yet, he doesn't let his surprise show. As Keith Shadis goes down the rank and file, let us take this time to examine the 7 untouched cadets. First is a teenage girl with black hair tied in 3 different areas, 1 in a short high ponytail and 2 framing her cheeks. Her face is calm but hardened, her deep sky blue eyes show a resolve that is shared only by the other 3. Her figure is that of a sturdy muscular young woman of average height, and already, the rest of her class look at her in wonder, as her skin tone is new to them. Second is a teen with a bored yet clearly hardened expression on his face. His hair is black and also tied into a ponytail which stands instead of falling softly as most others do. His figure is that of a lean young man, built more for speed than strength, but also toned enough to not be a pushover in physical combat. The third is a teenage girl with mid-length orange hair that reaches to her neck. Her hair is styled with bangs that cover the left side of her forehead. She has orange eyes, long eyelashes, and thin eyebrows of the same color. She is also a relatively short teen with a slim figure, but while short and slim, she is no pushover in terms of martial prowess. Her hardened glare shows that Shess had more than her fair share of physical combat before joining. The last is a teen with blonde hair and cerulean eyes. His cheeks have 3 whisker-like marks, his gaze is hardened, his physique is balanced for speed and power, yet his otherworldly origins boost them to godlike capabilities. Should he ever wish to go all out, his otherworldly origins still only remain known to him and him alone. After 15 minutes, Keith Shadis makes his way to the front, eyeing the 4 teens approvingly as they hold their salute, never flinching, and as the other 96 cadets run laps around the training ground, these 4 remain untouched. Their forms are stoic to even Shadis' harshest of glares. The commandant can tell that these 4 no longer need physical training. They are already fit enough to start with the 3DM training by the next day, but he can't leave them 2 untouched. You lot. Form up in front of me. The 4 quickly do as told. They form up and salute again, sir. Name? Hora, sir. That's it? No surname? None, sir. I'm an orphan, sir. Keith nods, and while Cora's story would have broken the hearts of others, Keith's gaze hardens even more. Where did you grow up, cadet? In the underground cities, sir. A street rat. Very good. You seem to know how to handle yourself, Cadet Cora. Next. Name. The boy with black hair speaks, Shikamaru Nara, sir. Nara. I see, so that's why Erwin told me he'd send me someone with brains then. Keith Shadis glares at the boy. Do you think this will be easy, just because someone recommended you, boy? Never, sir. Never good. I don't plan on making it easy. Tell me then. Why are you joining us? Sir. I saw my father return in a cart. I plan on joining the scouts officially, sir. I see. Then I hope you survive. Next. Name. The girl with the orange hair replies, Nabura, sir. Nabura, what kind of name is that? Oriental, sir. Orphaned after my family was murdered. Are you giving me a sob story, cadet? No, sir. Then why tell me that? It's why I don't like giving my surname, sir. I see. And what is your surname, Cadet Nabura? Fujisaki, sir. Fucking splendid. And why are you here then? Penance, sir. Penance, what fucking penance? It was either being locked up for months or joining the army, sir. Well fuck, cadet. What in the name of the 3 walls did you fucking do to even get that punishment? I kicked Nile Doc in the balls after touching me, sir. Nile Doc. Commander of the military police. Sir. Yes. Sir. Good. I've always hated that bastard and the MP, next. Last one. Name. The blonde speaks, Naruto Uzumaki, sir. Is that so? Sir. Yes. Sir. Then tell me, cadet. Why are you here? Sir. To be the best at killing titans, sir. The best. Sir, yes sir. Are you even remotely talented for such a thing, Cadet Uzumaki? Sir. Give me 1 month and it'll be the very best, sir. Are you boasting, blonde shit? No sir. Stating fact sir. Really? Sir. Yes. Sir. And pray fucking tell, cadet. What happens if you can't be the very best after 1 month? Sir. Then it'll be seen as the same arrogant prick who I killed sir. You threatening me, cadet? Hell no sir. I detest that bastard too much to not bring him and shit on his memory, sir. And where the fuck would you join? The scouts, sir. Listen here, cadet. Sir. That attitude would have gotten you a beating from any other commandant. But it'll give you this one fucking chance. Sir. You have 2 responsibilities. First. Prove your fucking claim. Second. 100 push-ups. Sit UPS. Squats. Kilometers. Every fucking day for the entire month while still attending regular classes and training. Understood, sir. One more thing. Sir. The 3 of you, join him. But. The catch is if you little shits can't continue, he has to pick up your slack. Understood. Sir. Yes. Sir. Now get moving. It starts right now. Naruto drops and starts immediately, the 3 others follow suit with glares directed to the blonde. Keith, meanwhile, still fumes at the blonde's words, 1 month, how dare he assume training to kill titans, is that easy? Little does Keith Shadis know that he just unfurled the path for a group of humanity's strongest, and from their demeanor. They are all Orientals, still, a month is a month, no one throughout their history finished training after a month. Wings of a butterfly . 1 month. 1 fucking month. The bastard actually managed it, Keith manages to say in a stupefied stupor. Indeed, Naruto managed his claim and more. The blonde in question blitzes through trees his speed, far surpassing those of the regular recruits. In fact, the only people who have even a sliver of hope keeping up with him are Korra and Nobara, while Shikamaru can only use his eyes to follow the blonde's movements, and even then, Korra and Nobara are straining to keep up. Sakura, Ino, and the rest of the cadets meanwhile, watch in awe, proud smiles upon their faces. Preet. The whistle catches the attention of everyone, none more so than Keith Shadis who clicks his clock on instinct, his words come out as a whisper, yet the silence of the forest reverberates his words for everyone to hear. 1 minute, he says, stupefied, 1 minute. 50 kills. 50 people cheer, their cries of awe, admiration, and boosted confidence erupt into their forested training ground. Yes, some are envious, Korra and Nobara's grumpy expressions showing they are equally if not more envious than the others, yet even they cannot help a small smile that tugs on their lips at the end, because as envious of Naruto's skill as they are, they know one thing with certainty: Naruto is now on par with the recently infamous Levi Ackerman. Dubbed humanity's strongest. With Naruto up there and the knowledge of Korra and Nobara soon joining such heights, talk spreads within the division of it now being a class far above the normal soldier. And while only 54 cadets remain, counting Naruto, Korra, Nobara and Shikamaru, these men and women in the southern division of Walrose are about to make history. They will be the only division to have all their graduates join the Scouting Legion. All thanks to the inspiration of one boy no teen nay, man, Keith Shadis corrects himself, oh, hell get flack for it, he knows, but his past in the Scouting Legion makes him vow that he will go through hell and back for these cadets. Especially for the blonde man who now gives them hope. Heading back to his quarters, Keith makes up his mind, but first, to make a good excuse for what Hess about to do next. Wings of a butterfly . Flipping open his files, he reads his notes carefully on the 4 most promising cadets and 2 others who will soon prove just as useful to Scouting Legion. He starts with the 2 others. Cadet Haruno and Cadet Yamanaka. While average to above average in skill, these girls are book smart on wildlife, medicine and other related areas, and Titan theory. Hange will be pleased when they'll join her, their true potential might only be unlocked once they join the scouts. He frowned somewhat, since the 2 are, as his notes say, average. He expected his notes to be short, being proven right in that regard, however, is far from pleasing. Setting aside the 2 names, the commandant moves on to the first of the 4 notable cadets. Cadet Nara. While the smartest among all the cadets, his physical prowess is that of low elites, his intelligence is only challenged by Cadet Uzumaki's ability to think on the fly and create creative solutions to problems. Cadet Nara's strength lies in strategy, and he can now easily give Erwin a run for his money, while the best at all things academic, his true potential lies on the battlefield as a commander. Although starting as captain won't prove to be a challenge, as long as he gets good members on his team, his father would be proud. Nodding in satisfaction, Keith Shadis moves to the next of the big four of note. Cadet Kujisaki. While brash and insulting to her peers save her betters, she means well, by far, her strength lies in her agility and flexibility, which allows her to pull off maneuvers not thought possible or even downright risky. Her weakness is her strength, she's not strong enough to slice through a titan's nape without sufficient speed. When she does, however, her technique is flawless. Her blade control is excellent, which will allow her to use her blades for far longer. She's more of a follower than a leader, and she also has a competitive side, which is what helped her improve so fast with just a month of training. She's no one-woman army, but when paired with Cadet Korra, they can almost give the most gifted boy in this division a run for his money. Speaking of Korra. Cadet Korra. She is far more antagonistic to her betters than even Cadet Kujisaki. However, her competition with Cadet Uzumaki has reined her in. She's reckless but gifted. While she does face discrimination for her skin tone, it has not hindered her. Cadets Uzumaki, Nara, and Kujisaki are the only ones to not care about it throughout the division, the slight discrimination aside. Her strength is also her weakness. She is an all-rounder, jack of all trades, master of none, and alone she is easily a high elite paired with Kujisaki. As per Shikamaru's recommendation, they can easily fit in the category of humanity's strongest. Korra is a born leader and follower, more fit for the position of a captain than a commander due to her recklessness. Cadet Uzumaki, however, strongly disagreed with me when I asked him for his opinion. Still, Cadet Korra is by far the second most gifted member of the Southern Division. Sighing, Keith moves his attention to the most gifted of the four and equally the most troublesome. He grabs his pencil and starts to write a new file, seeing as the old one is considerably out of date after the blonde's latest display of skills. Cadet Uzumaki. Jack of all trades, master of few, this boy knows no limit. He will stagnate for a bit, only to suddenly improve out of nowhere. His methods of improvement are unknown, although many suspect he's just a hard worker. However, let it be known that during his first day using the 3DM, he managed a perfect balance. He even found out I sabotaged his equipment and didn't bother fixing it, and he was still balancing. Professionalism be damned, this kid needs to graduate now. That's also a natural leader who can show compassion for his subordinates. He was the one to help many of the other cadets when they were struggling, which easily won him their loyalty. That was 2 weeks into the training, and by that time, almost half of the division dropped out, the rest only stayed thanks to him. Frowning, Keith takes a break with a cup of coffee. Fucking documents, he bitterly thinks. His break finished, he continues. Cadet Uzumaki has proven himself to be fit for the position of commander as he playfully competes in wargames with Cadet Nara, showing that while his long-term strategy is below Cadet Nara's gift for strategy, his creativity for thinking on the fly can even stupefy Cadet Nara on occasion. He is also a kinesthetic learner, telling him how to fire a weapon is a chore. But let him practice and he's a fucking sponge. His hand-to-hand combat prowess is also nothing to scoff at. He plays with Cadet Korra and Cadet Kujisaki at the same time. He's an Oriental above other Orientals. If my assessment is current, he can easily match Levi Ackerman and maybe be just slightly above him. He needs to graduate now. His skills are a waste to be in here for the next 3 years. He needs immediate experience. Setting down his pencil, Keith shut his eyes. It would be unfair to the other 3 if they couldn't graduate as well. However, sighing again, the commandant takes his files to report them to his superior. Darius Ackley. He will need approval from the big man himself if he wants to have 4 individuals graduate one fucking month into their training. Hell, bring the big man if need be. These children are humanity's hope. Especially Cadet Uzumaki. He must get these 4 into active service immediately. With his mind made up, he sets off. Wings of a butterfly . Night comes fairly quickly for the men and women of the Southern Division of Walrose. In the dining hall, the loud cheers of the 50 remaining regular recruits resound through its walls. Sakura and Ino, for their part, partake in the feast. While they may be recruits of note, they are still part of the regs, as they call themselves. Nothing demeaning, of course, especially with the knowledge of the capabilities of the 4 elites, as they lovingly call the 4 cadets who are above and beyond them in terms of skill. Especially Naruto, the guy helped them when they needed it most, and he still helps them. It did not take long for his act of helping to foster a bond among the rest, a bond where the cadets now help each other out of instinct. Yet while the 50 go about their feast courtesy of the order of their commandant after Naruto's stunning display earlier in the day, the 4 elites are away doing their own thing. Shikamaru can be found meditating in his room. His mind races through all the possibilities on what to do with Naruto's martial prowess. When it comes to working with others, needless to say, the possibilities are nearly limitless. He wears a black sleeveless shirt paired with his pants for the next day. He has the mindset of always being ready for anything. Aura, in the meanwhile, can be seen on the roof of the female's barracks. If anyone bothers to look up, she gazes up onto the moon, the cool air keeping her company. She wears a blue sleeveless oriental-style shirt and dark blue pants and brown slip-on boots. Nabura, for her part, is dressed in a loose black sleeveless top that shows her midriff. Her lower wear is covered only by white undergarments. She sits cross-legged on her bed, whilst reading by the open window behind her to allow the moonlight to light her pages. As for Naruto, well. From the corner of her eye, Nabura catches a glimpse of him as a reflection on the window glass. He stands outside staring up into the stars, although his eyes are unfocused, almost as if lost in thought. Wearing his habitual orange shirt paired with his black pants makes him hard to miss, yet for some reason, people always notice him only at the last possible moment, a puzzle that remains unsolved to this very day. Yo, Naruto. Blinking, the blonde turns to face the girl by the window. Nabura, he smiles, what's up? How's my favorite hot-headed orange head doing? The girl rolls her eyes, you're only saying that because orange is your favorite color and my hair is a shade of orange. Well, it certainly suits you though. Flattery will get you nowhere with me, blondie. Naruto snorts, not looking, and then he gives her a knowing smile, but if you're offering, I won't turn you down. Please, we've only known each other for a month. Shrugging, he leans on the wall right by the window, well, we'll be graduating soon. Eyeing him suspiciously, Nabura asks, and how would you know that? I made sure that my performance today would be too good to pass up, that, and the commandant would want me to graduate with a squad. You, Korra and Shika are the only ones who can keep up with me. Their eyes lock. Okay, maybe not Shika in terms of speed, but his smarts make him invaluable. It would be stupid to keep a powerhouse team like us back here in reserve. A new voice pops up, hey ya. Jaya. Naruto almost pales, he purposely ignores the smirk Kujisaki is giving him behind his back. Sorry, Korra sheepishly says as she looks at the two from the roof, anyway, you seem quite sure of yourself, Naruto. Pointing, he goes, first, won't you get a headache with your head looking down on us from there? Second, I'm not certain, but it's the most likely thing to happen. With her head still upside down, Korra smiles, nope. Okay, Naruto shivers, that creepy smile isn't revenge for pushing you guys to your limits earlier, right? The smile can only widen, of course, and why would you think that? He scoffs a laugh, gee, I wonder why, besides, it's not my fault both of you are super competitive. Yeah. I'm still here, by the way, Nabura says. Oh please, I just joined in. Yeah, now shoo, I'm talking with Blondie. Backflipping and gracefully landing, Korra smirks, why? You jealous him getting all his attention? Please, like it date him. Sleeping with him is still an option. Korra, are you just horny or are you doing this just to piss me off? Oh wait, is it a little bit of both? Listen here you little bitch, Enough. The two girls shut up, they both turn to their subject in question and notice his frown. His voice was measured, but the way he said that one word, well, it had the full of power that was fit for a commander. I'm going for a jog, no fighting while I'm gone, cool your heads while I'm at it. Taking off at measured speed, the two watch as the blonde vanishes into the night. That was hot. Yeah. I think he'll do him. You sure that isn't the 1 month of grueling training talking? Might be, he was also the one who got us into that mess though. Well, that's true, but nothing, I'm doing him, he isn't bad looking either, and he cares for his subordinates. Subordinates? You're a submissive type. Are you? I didn't take you for one. You're dodging the question. So are you. So we're sharing him? Usually. I'd say no, but something tells me both of us will be a match for him. In more ways than the killing of titans. In more ways than the killing of titans. He isn't taken already, right? Not that I know, I think has still free game. You think if we included Sakura and Ino they'd wanna join in? Wanna ask? Wanna find out if he can last with both of us first? I think we should go eat while there's still food or just sleep. Yeah, wanna go get food? Yeah, I'll change clothes first. Same here. Neither notice a bored man walking away. Wings of a butterfly . Naruto sighs as he pops his joints while the cool night air blows gently across his skin. He stands within the forested area of the training ground as he looks to the dummy titans, slow, mechanically lumbering and utterly predictable. How the rest fail to fully grasp such a test makes him wonder. These things can only get them so far. Yo, a man calls from the trees before standing beside his fellow cadet, can't sleep. Shikamaru, you followed me here. I couldn't sleep, he shrugs. If you're looking to sleep with me, I don't swing that way, Naruto says giving distance. Fuck no, Shikamaru snorts in amusement, I already have someone in chess in the eastern division of Walmaria. That's far. It allows her to visit her family on the weekends. Alright, that's fair then. Thinking of improving these puppets? Am I that obvious? No, I thought you were basking in your earlier glory. I'm not a total ass. That's not, that aside, these dummies don't reflect the potential for abnormals. It's probably because they're rare. Something tells me you agree though. I do, abnormals will be a problem when they're encountered, we've yet to see any, but if the reports from the scouts are anything to go by, even these dummies are nothing, titans see us and chase us, no matter how slow they are, these things just move around like idiots. You want to replace them with dummies that act like real titans? Ideally, yes. But without real titans to base them on, let alone real abnormal ones, what can we do? Nothing. We can do nothing but train the rest to the best of our abilities. Odd of you to give up so easily. It's because of the resources, Shika, too much is required to build just one normal one, and that's if we manage to make improvements on these. How much more resources are needed for abnormal titan puppets? The resource you're talking about, it isn't wood, huh? No, it's time. You sound like you know something bad is going to happen. It's a gut feeling, the washouts. I can care less about them, but the ones that stayed. Tell me, Shika, surely you also think that them dying won't be for the best. Decisions will have to be made, Naruto. I know, I can make them, but the longer we survive with more lives, the more we can get to the bottom of this. Yeah, get some sleep, the two cooled down already and went to get something to eat. Ha. Really? That was fast, Naruto snorts in amusement, I thought they'd actually fight once I left. Nah, good luck though. Naruto feels a chill, huh? Nothing, I'm heading back ahead. Baying him wearily, Naruto hums before shrugging, he passes off an even colder chill is just the weather. Mikasa's eyes, in just 2 months, she's already missing that blonde boy, badly, she might add, oh, how she dreams of him. How she wishes to tackle him when she sees him again. That type of reunion would be glorious. How he'd catch her and twirl her in his arms. Like a princess. His princess. The thought alone makes her blush, which only brightens when she buries her face further into his scarf. How she hated to wash it. By the walls. When she fell after chasing after Eren the month before, she gave him a piece of her mind, but like many childhood fights with close friends, she forgave him eventually. Now, at 4 in the morning, Mikasa and her parents and siblings too, although they aren't in her thoughts, now makes her way to the home of the Yeager family, she might as well keep busy while Naruto is away. Add and maybe learn a recipe or two from Carla Yeager to hopefully impress her Naruto-kun. Wait. She blushes up a storm if she wasn't already. Why Naruto-kun? One could swear that they'd see steam rising from her ears and her face glowing in the night that will soon turn to morning. Wings of a butterfly . Darius Ackley, the head of all 3 military branches, sits silently as dawn approaches, but for now, as night still reigns, he stares at the candle on his desk while his mind looks back on the events of the day before and only one thing escapes his lips. By the walls. Keith Shadis grins, I told you, Zackley, his skills are wasted here, the 3 combined into his team will be the hope for humanity. We already have Levi, but now we have 4 more just around his skill. Zackley nods, I agree, and you said in your report that they all wish to join the scouts. That's correct. Then so be it, the military police might cause an uproar, so we'll have to pacify them somehow. Keith Shadis frowns, politics. Diplomacy, Zackley offers, you know how much power they hold. Fine, how will we do it? Zackley hums, his eyes close in thought, and a heavy breath escapes him. Here's a family the military police are showing interest in, let them guard them for a week before sending them off to the scouts. However, a heavy sigh escapes him again, I want them to be free for today, they are officially the youngest and fastest graduates of the training corps. It'll give them the news, the rest of the trainees will want to celebrate, Zackley. I know I could tell from their cheers yesterday, the man stands, let them celebrate, Shadis, it's not every day that humanity finds new hope. Understood. Walking over to the window as the door closes upon Keith's exit, Zackley looks out onto the city below him, his thoughts are occupied by one man, and his crazy skill that can certainly match and maybe even outmatch Levi. Wings of a butterfly . In the early morning, just before dawn breaks, Naruto Uzumaki is dressed like all the others are dressed today, in a top of their choosing, while their lower wear consists of their required military gear, skirt, harnesses, boots, and all. Naruto's top is specifically that of a tight black shirt that hugs his toned build with a relatively broad chest and shoulders, a contrast to most other boys who have a straight and lean build. His shirt is covered by an orange jacket. He watches as the rest of his class celebrates an achievement that isn't theirs, but one of their own. Granted, it makes sense, since they also benefit from it. But the genuine happiness they give off makes the blonde man smile. As his class continues to celebrate outside the barracks, Naruto finishes packing his things just as dawn breaks. So, Naruto, what will you be doing today? Naruto turns to the voice by the door to the male's barracks and smiles. Nabura, he greets, her top is a black button shirt that hugs her form tightly in intentional fit. Hess sure, I'm going back to Shingishina, I only have today to do this anyway. He pauses, what about you? Nabura, ever the sassy lass that she is, leans her side against the doorframe with her arms crossed. Mind if I come with? Naruto blinks, huh? I don't really have anywhere to go, Nabura shrugs, besides, shouldn't you feel honored that you're being accompanied by a woman as gorgeous as I? As the light finally touches the entire camp, Naruto can't help but smile as the sunlight compliments Nabura's appearance. I guess I should. You guess? Naruto smirks, oh, no, no 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 no, you're amazing, but so is Korra. Naruto catches a hammer aimed for his face and she's less likely to murder me when I compliment other girls. Only because she likes girls too, Nabura says with a roll of her eyes. Naruto shrugs, that aside, I thought you're coming with me. Praising, Nabura smirks, a smirk which the blonde returns. Let's go, stop blocking the door. Shrugging herself off the doorframe, Nabura mockingly motions for him to lead the way. So, where's Korra anyway? Nabura clicks her tongue, again, with Korra. I made a promise to her, Naruto shrugs, she's an orphan like me, you know. This is the first time I'm hearing this. Huh? Wait, really? And wait, really me, Whiskers, you don't share much of yourself, instead. You just train, 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 and train. And train some more. And train some more. Sheesh, no wonder both of you get along so well, my chances with you are going down as we speak. Naruto laughs, well, if it's any comfort, I haven't done it yet. Nabura Kujisaki sighs, that's not the point, Naruto just smiles at her, which prompts her to send him a glare. You know what, fine, Korra's probably already gone to get you tickets if you told her where you're going, anyway. Ah, aren't you just the sweetest, Nabura? Naruto smiles and pats her head, thank you, and his smile turns into a grin. That wasn't so hard, now, was it? Not as hard as y'all be if we do each other, and not as sweet as I am down here. Nabura smirks when Naruto coughs away to hide a blush, cute. Right, sure. Nabura gives an inward cheer. It is a rare thing when she or Korra manages to fluster the boy, and so they celebrate every time they manage to do so, thus, the trip down to where the wired boats are is a relatively silent one. Wings of a butterfly Erwin Smith, the current commander of the Scouting Legion, can be found at his desk with 4 folders in front of him, all of which are open, his eyes are closed, his mind processing their contents. 4 trainees who showed so much exceptional skill that they graduated in 2 months' time only because Zachley needed to play politics, otherwise, we could have had these kids with us a month ago. Just a few weeks after we got Levi, Erwin's eyes settle for a glare, it is aimed at the door, but not at the man who enters. Erwin, the man greets, I heard that we have new recruits coming in a week. Mike, Erwin nods, we do, they're promising, very promising, especially this boy. He tosses the related folder which Mike catches, Naruto Uzumaki, Zachley and even Shadase has a match for Levi, maybe even stronger. Mike speaks after giving the file a quick read, Hess fit to lead his own squad right off the bat. Yes. But here's a problem. Indeed, Erwin stands, Zachley wishes to play politics because he needs to play politics, walking over to the window, he sighs. Meaning? Zachley told me that to please the MP who want all the most skilled people with them, he'd give these kids to them, and if in a week they wish to stay, they shall. Something smells fishy. Well, that's probably because this will be the first time in humanity's history where an entire division will join the scouts once the rest graduate. In fact, it might even be the only time in human history. I see, and it says here, Mike motions to the report in his hands, that Naruto would already be fit for the role of commander. If anything, the only thing Hess lacking is experience. Is there really such a person capable of that? Well, Hess one of 2, the other one is Shikamaru Nara, you remember his father. Mike nods, saved our lives on many occasions, he did, brilliant strategies, but his laziness is what got you chosen as our commander. Yes, well, thanks to Naruto, we might have Shikamaru with us in a week's time. Heading back to his seat, Erwin pretty much plops down, that aside, how are the preparations for our next sortie? Well, everything seems to be on schedule, although this is really more of Zoe's area. That's fine, besides I think we should postpone it until we get these 4 kids with us. Mike raises a brow, you sound quite sure of the outcome. Erwin nods and clasps his hands in front of him, I am, the problem won't be them, but the military police. Do you think Zachley can pull some strings? Closing his eyes, Erwin says, we shall see. Wings of a butterfly . The morning fully arrives, Naruto and Nabura get on the boat arc thing to find Korra waiting for them with her hand on her hip as she leans on one side. Korra wears a thin blue hoodie, but underneath she wears a black version of her usual blue oriental styled sleeveless shirt. You two certainly took your time. Before Nabura can utter out anything to tick Korra off, Naruto speaks, "I'm sorry to have kept the beauty waiting ga. Hey. Nobura don't hit me. Not my fault you're choosing to ignore this beauty right here." Naruto blinks, there's another beauty. He quickly looks around saying, "Where? Where?" Only to laugh a moment later as he dodges a flying fist courtesy of Nabura, "Relax, will you?" Korra smirks, jealous, "Nabura. Like hell. Aw, mon." The three cadets turn to the new voice. "I thought I could at least escape you three for a day." Naruto bursts out laughing while Korra and Nabura smile, "Shikamaru. What are you doing here?" Shikamaru, wearing a tight black shirt over his lean build, clasps Naruto's hand and exchanges a quick brotherly hug before replying, "My girl's still in training, no thanks to you getting me out early." Thrasing Naruto sings songs. "Ah, bloody hell," the Nara boy puts an arm around Naruto's head before giving him a noogie, "don't imply things that aren't meant, damn it." Naruto laughs while the two girls match a pose looking at the two boys. "So, Shikamaru, mind if we get our boy toy back?" Both girls say in sync. "Hey. I'm not a boy toy, that's an objectification on a guy." "Yeah, here, you can have him." "Hey. Would you betray me like that, Shikamaru?" The said Nara boy rolls his eyes at Naruto's crocodile tears, leave it to the blonde to act like a child even at the age of 15. "Alright. That's the last of it." The conductor calls, "First boat arc Thinji Majigi to Shingishina, ready to depart." Naruto smiles, "I'm finally going home." Wings of a butterfly . In mid-morning, one can find Mikasa smiling and waving as the form of Grisha Yeager disappears behind a building. Behind her, Eren huffs and growls as Carla Yeager, Eren's mother, tells him to sit down and finish his breakfast. "This isn't fair at all, Mom." That remark earns him a smack on the head. "Eren, be quiet. You're 11. Stop acting like an immature child." Turning to the girl, Carla says, "Mikasa, dear, what of Naruto?" Puffing her cheeks with a blush, Mikasa answers, "It's only been 2 months, Miss Carla, I'm sure he's still busy training." Warning bells start ringing inside the younger Ackerman's head, that sing-song tone of a hum. Is not a good sign. So, he's still busy training, I wonder how he'll look when he's done. Why would you wonder that? And here, Mikasa freezes as Carla's smile goes wide and toothy, "Oh, you know, in 3 years, y'all be 14, he'll be 18, and from what you and your mother tell me, he's already fit for his age, imagine when's he's older." It's not a like tea that." Carla bursts out laughing, "Oh, Mikasa, so easy." "I'm not easy." "Of course, dear," Carla concedes, "now come, let's buy some fruits, shall we?" A nod of agreement makes Carla smile, "Eren." She calls, "Do you want to come along and help us with some shopping?" Eren's response is a typical groan of annoyance, "What? Why do I have to go? I guess y'all just let Mikasa carry everything then." "What? No. 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 He'll go. He'll go. Come on Mikasa." Carla watches with a knowing smile as Eren runs out the door, Mikasa's hand in his, taking her shawl and basket. Carla follows swiftly. The market square is a blur, Carla and Mikasa choose good fruit, Eren chooses good meat as usual. Carla supposes. They also pass by Mikasa's parents who are selling their own goods in the form of flowers and hides. As for Carla, well, on the bright side, at least when Mikasa is around, Eren is more behaved than he usually is. Which is saying a lot if one dares to ask Carla for her thoughts on the matter, the benefits of boys and their crushes on girls, I guess. Mikasa. Eren. Miss Carla. The threesome turns to look and find the source to be a blonde boy with blue eyes, his hair is neck length, and he runs out of breath as he reaches them. "Armin." Eren greets, Mikasa simply nods in greeting, "Hey. I told you. You should build up strength, remember?" "I told you to, Eren." Armin groans out with a pant, "I'm not like you, I don't want to join the scouts." "What?" The two boys' faces pale. "Since when?" "Armin. I told you not to." "Shut it, young man." Carla huffs, "Armin, you will be joining us for lunch, won't you?" "Why yes, Miss Yeager." Armin quickly adds, But I need to ask, let my grandfather know, so I have to go now. Bye." Mikasa thinks, for someone who was panting earlier, he sure can run fast when it's Miss Carla. "Now, Eren." "Shit, why yes, Mom. Let's go home, we have a lot to talk about." The boy sighs, "Damn it, why can't she see that our future lies beyond the walls?" Mikasa, for her part, sighs, "Come on, Eren, let's go." Zap bam. Crash. Frightened screams are drowned out by the loud bang. Everyone on their feet falls. Mothers who hold babes clutch them tightly to their bosom lest they fall and hit their heads. Men carrying logs stumble. Their cargo clanking and cluttering the street. Horses neigh and carts buckle. Eren, Carla and Mikasa, along with a few others, are the first to get up. It is Eren who sees the cloud of smoke. "No, wait, steam." What the hell? Eren. The said boy rushes back to the market square, his mother demanding he stops as she chases after him with Mikasa close behind, thanks to Carla grabbing her hand. Eren. They finally catch up. Don't go running away like that. You made me worry, hey. Are you even listening to me, young man? But Eren does not respond, instead, he stands frozen, and he is not alone. When Carla and Mikasa notice this, they realize that almost all of the people are looking up to where their son also looks, but they do not look to the sky, no. They look to the wall. The giant wall of Shingishina, the wall that protected humanity for hundreds of years, the wall used as the last barrier for the famed Scouting Legion, that wall that made everyone forget the danger that roams beyond it. Crunch. No way. And they look to the red giant's skinless hand. That wall's 50 meters tall. And they see a skinless head that rises above and beyond it. His next words are a whimper, it's one of the Maya Titan. The people in Shingishina see it bring its head forward, but no one within Shingishina sees the colossal titan bring its leg back. The people are knocked off their feet. Few are flung by the shockwave and sudden wall of air. And then comes the rain. A rain of rocks. Giant stones scatter from the once strong gates. A storm of giant debris soars overhead, splattering the streets with red. They crush buildings. They turn mothers, fathers, brothers and sisters, even babes into red mist or a new coat of red paint on the walls. They do not discriminate. They do not hesitate. They do falter. Nay. It is the humans who falter. For when the survivors rise after their fall, they see the carnage. The trio sees a nearby mother crying by a red-stained boulder, street, and house with her child by her side. Plebeians run for their lives whilst trampling children and elderly and anyone who falls. And the cry of horror runs through. They're here. The titans are in the walls. Carla thinks fast. With each hand grabbing one of the children, she makes a break for the gates. Mom. What about Armin? We need to check on Armin. Carla Yeager heard her son's cries, she truly did, but the voice in her head wanted her to focus on one thing and one thing only. Getting her son and the daughter of the Ackerman family to safety. But her stubbornness costs her. To her horror, Eren yanks his arm free. Ugh. That boy. Fury shines in her eyes as she chases after him. Eren. Miss Carla. My parents. I need to go to my parents. But Carla Yeager only has her boy in mind, Eren. And just as she's doing to Mikasa, Eren ignores her, Armin. Rounding a corner, the brunette boy vaults over falling crates, slowing his mother and Mikasa down. He rounds another corner, his mind racing with one chanting thought, it's just around that corner. It's just around that corner. Armin's house is just. And then he sees it. Armin's widened eyes, Armin's bloodied hands holding onto his grandfather's hat, and Armin himself standing frozen looking down at the bloodied rock. Armin. Eren rushes over, horror and tears in his eyes. Armin. Come on. Let's go. And then his mother reaches them. Eren. What? Oh no, Armin. Her eyes widen in horror as Armin remains frozen in place. Mikasa fares no better, but as she watches Carla Yeager try and push Eren and Armin onwards, arguing with Eren no less, something else catches her attention. Thud crunch, and her neck turns. Deep in her mind, she knows what walks behind her, but her fears are proven when she sees the source. They were not just any thuds, they were stomps, heavy, giant, stomps. The Titan, 14 meters tall, stares at her. Its only other notable features are its black hair and frowning face, which soon turns into a sinister smile. Die. No. Let me go. Let me go. Armin's and the two arguing Yeager's heads snap to the cries, and what they see makes their blood freeze. Mikasa. The two manage to shout as they see Mikasa in the hands of the Titan. But a child and his mother can do nothing against a Titan. No. Let me go. Let me go. Tears stream down her face, her cries now mix with sobs, and as Mikasa nears the Titan's maw, one face, one name, rings in her mind, Naruto. Shink. Hands. Mikasa's eyes snap open as she's snatched from the air. Hands, a middle-aged blonde man, sweats bullets as he crash lands back first onto the street before immediately getting up and hoisting Mikasa onto his shoulder, before grabbing Eren and slinging him under his arm. Carla. Let's go. We have to move. But what about Armin? Eren. The boy's eyes lock with his mother as the woman grabs Armin and drags his stumbling form along, and for the first time in his life, he sees a fire of rage and righteous fury burn in Carla Yeager's eyes. Even as they run to the rear gate of Shingishina, their eyes remain locked. Her next words shut him up. You almost got Mikasa killed. If Hans wasn't here, you'd have gotten her dead. His head snaps up at Mikasa, her hair obscuring her face, her silent sobs still managing to be choked out, but he sees the glint of reflection from her eyes, a glare directed at him, and he feels his heart twist, and something rages within him, for he knows one thing for certain. This was not meant to be. Wings of a butterfly. Noon arrives, and with 2 hours remaining on their voyage, the walls are finally on the horizon. Shikamaru lays about as expected. Nobura is looking off into the distance where the walls grow as they get closer, and Korra and Naruto, well, Naruto sighs as Korra lies her head on his thigh. I thought it's usually guys that rest their heads on thighs. Hey Naruto. Check this out. The blonde quirks a brow, shrugging, he gently stirs Korra to get off him before he stands, dusts himself, and walks over Nobura. What's up? He follows Nobura's pointing finger. To riders. Riders. Naruto squints, those errant scouts and their horses look tired already. Nobura Kujisaki nods, civilians. Only one way to find out, Naruto says, but his face grows dim, something feels weird though, like something's wrong. The two can do nothing except wait for the riders to get closer. They hail the riders once they're in earshot, causing some of the other passengers to listen in or to even stand and see what's going on. The two riders ride up, panting along with their horses. Before either Naruto or Nobura can send them a greeting, one rider shouts. Go back. Go back. What? Why? Nobura shouts back in shock. Of course, she does. She can't have spent the last 5 hours on this damn boat arc thing, only to be told to turn back, while now being less than 2 hours away. But the writer's next words chill everyone to the core. Shingishina has fallen. Go back. The Titans made it in. And none more so than Naruto Uzumaki. What jolts him from his thoughts is the sudden stopping of the vessel. He turns and sees to his horror that the gears have reversed. They're going back to let those in Shingishina die so that they may live. In a burst of rage, Naruto goes to the man in charge of directing the arc, slugs him with enough strength to break his jaw, and his intentions are made clear when he pulls the lever to direct the arc back towards Shingishina. A man tries to stop him, but Naruto will have none of it. Instead, Naruto breaks the man's arms before smashing the guy's face onto the wooden railings. No flashy technique, just a swift execution of combat. Taking in his surroundings, he notices the fear present in all the common folk, but the amazement in the eyes of his 3 fellow graduates, and it is to the common folk that he speaks. You're all weak, you all disgust me, you didn't train to be soldiers, and just now you tried to turn tail and run, you bitches cold to even think of saving others, and only thought about saving yourselves. Fine. Feel free. But y'all have to get through me first. Any takers' silence looms over them, none good. Shingishina. We board as much as we can then head back. I'm not asking you cowards to fight. But have some common human decency to help others, you shits. The others look down in shame and fear save for his 3 friends who nodded him in approval. Now, with an hour and 45 minutes remaining, Naruto Uzumaki curses this world, a world with no chakra, a world where even the slightest deviation from the norm can cause one's death. Sure, he might not die, he's pretty much a god when compared to the humans in this world, but having the entire world against him won't suit his mission, and he supposes. After memories of his old world resurface for but a moment, all he really wanted, rather, was to live like a normal human. I guess those plans are down in the fucking dirt. Wings of a butterfly. Hans huffs before slowing to a walk and putting the 2 children down. Hans. Sorry, Carla, looks like months of always drinking alcohol and not doing anything to keep my form has finally gotten to me, he pants before straightening his back, but we can't stop, we have to keep moving. Agreed, Irin. Carla motions, the boy, surprisingly or unsurprisingly, takes her hand. Good, at least he's obedient now, Mikasa. The girl's response is to just walk ahead. Armin, dear. All she receives is an emotionless nod. Mikasa, so. Shut up, Irin. Mikasa's words make the boy flinch and his heart twist. All he has for comfort is his mother's free hand on his back before motioning him to move forward. Hans is already ahead of them. They settle for a fast walking pace for a few minutes before deciding to jog the rest of the way. Minutes pass before the fivesome finally turns the corner that opens up to the rear gate of District Shingishina. Fire. Boom. The 5 survivors duck just in time for a cannonball to soar past them and blow an arm off a distant Titan. But the hands move it. The rest of you. Reload. Hans picks up Irin and Mikasa before dashing off while Carla lags just behind them, Armin still in her grasp. Fuck, Hans. We almost killed you. Aim at the Titans, damn it. These cannons can't aim for shit. We can only slow them down. Exiting through the other side of the gate, Hans puts down the kids as Carla stops in front of him, Armin still in her hand. If he hazards a guess, the only thing keeping these 4 on their feet is the adrenaline still pumping. Carla, his tone is grim, I wish you safe travels, I have to go and help the others, receiving a nod in return. Hans jogs back to the gunners that fire at irregular intervals. How long do you need to hold off? Boom. If you can help clear some Titans that were missing or at least distract them when they get close, we might be able to hold out for 30 minutes. Boom, maybe more. If the stream of Titans is slow. And if I can't? Boom. Well, you better make yourself useful. Boom. I have 4 cannons that are shit. Some other garrison boys are dead. Boom. Boom. I already sent 2 riders an hour ago to inform the scouts. Boom. Right, I'll gather some men to carry more ammunition and powder for you. Hopefully, boom, hold them off until the scouts arrive. Wings of a butterfly equals. It is nearly mid-afternoon now, and with only 2 boats as they call them remaining, the people crowd and try to board the next boat to leave, few bothering to board the last one with more space. All the while, the people of Shingishina district sob, cry, and weep as the boats fill. Whack. Leave your belongings. Let more people on board. Biren looks down at the boarding plank. Mikasa is in front of him, also looking down, but the boy feels it. He feels the rage, the fury of his earlier actions and what they almost cost him. What they almost cost her. So, his eyes snap wide when Armin holds his hand, life returning to both their eyes, and although Armin's is a bit dull, the life still returns. His eyes now have a faint shine of blue, not as bright as before, that's certain, but there, the 2 boys lock eyes for a moment before they nod in silent agreement. They board with Carla following after them. Hey. What's that? A random voice pierces through the crowd. It causes a domino as a few others ask what's what and what. Where? With people looking around, they finally see it. It's a boat. A boat? What? Yes. It's a boat. There's one more boat. One more boat. What? Where? I can't see it. It's really another boat. The crowd cheers as sighs of relief wash over them, tears stream down their faces as their cries of salvation have been answered. By the walls. They'll live. And so, as the newly arrived boat pulls up beside the first boat, the boat ready to leave, some of the garrison soldiers take notice. To their shock, a boy who looks no older than 15 jumps across. He is a blond boy with cerulean eyes and whisker-marked cheeks, and his orange hood brings all the attention to him, never mind his military lower wear. And Naruto. Turning, Naruto's eyes brighten before leaping and scooping up the girl who called his name Mikasa. He kisses her forehead before hugging her tightly. You're safe. And then she finally breaks down. For a solid 5 minutes, the world seems to stop existing for the girl. All she cared about in those 5 minutes was being in Naruto's arms, in his warmth. By the walls. It's only been 2 months but still. Naruto. Mikasa blinks, a girl. And Naruto loosens his hug. Naruto, we need to go. It is another girl who calls for him now. Yeah, she hears Naruto reply, making Mikasa's eyes widen. No. Stay. She clings to him. Stay. But she can't find her strength, especially when Naruto removes her arms from around him. I'll be back, Mikasa, Naruto says, patting her head. I'll see you on the other side. He kisses her forehead one more time before turning to look behind him, allowing her to see who called him. 2 girls, one in a blue hoodie, the other in a black button shirt that hugs her curves just right. Mikasa grows a shade of red, embarrassed at being jealous of someone who is clearly more developed than her, thanks to them being older. But Naruto doesn't see it. Instead, his focus is on the 2 girls, and also on another person who lands beside them, Shikamaru. I thought you'd lays about back there. The Nara boy shrugs. I have a bone to pick with Titans, and for the first time since knowing each other, he gives off an aura similar to Naruto. Move, he says to the crowd, and they all obey. They make way for him and his comrades before topping at the end of the boarding plank, where a garrison soldier stands guard. Gear. You're just kids. Naruto steps up from behind. Do you even have the guts to fight these Titans? No, great. Now. Gear. Are right by the gates. The 4 teens make their way through the crowd that parts for them. Whispers of shock, awe and some horror escape the common folk, but as the 2 girls follow Shikamaru, Naruto stays behind for but a moment to give a simple instruction. What are you all waiting for? Board the boat, arc things. It's a boat. A civilian corrects. Board the boat, arc things orderly. You should be able to fit enough people now with a 3rd boat. He then goes to join his friends. Who's that guy? No idea, but I'm not complaining, alright. You heard him. Half of you, go to the other side. Come on. The other half, start boarding the boat behind this. Can we fit any more women and children here? A few more. Alright, let's move. 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 Mikasa rests her hands on her chest as Carla joins her by her side. Stay safe. Wings of a butterfly equals. The group of 4 march into the armory where Hans and a few others can be seen loading the last boxes of cannonballs and gunpowder onto a cart. The distant booms of cannons show that at least those guns are being put to good use now if they never were before. Instead of asking permission or even announcing their presence, the 4 graduated cadets simply go over to where the swords, gas and gas canisters and harnesses are. It is Hans who spots them. What the hey? Kids. What are you doing? We'll be fighting, Nobura says plainly. Yeah, because you guys did a really great job, garrison guy, chorus says. The name's Hans. And sarcasm is unbecoming of a young girl with a future. Whatever you say, Garrison guy, Korra finishes clipping her gear on. You're just teens. We'll do a better job than you, that's for sure, Nabura says. Naruto. We're ready. The blonde teen walks up to the blonde man and nods a greeting. Hands, was it? Naruto, then. Hands grumbles. Good, since you lads are already loading those things, I have one more request. Naruto points to the dusty guns just leaning on the wall, all of that, have them loaded and brought to. Hands. Someone calls from outside. They're closing the gates. Shit. Naruto rushes past. Guns. Get all the guns loaded. Now. His 3 comrades follow close behind. But. Now. Fucking kids. Hands swears before still getting a handful of muskets. Jerome. Help me load these things. The fuck for what? Against titans. Just help me, damn it. Tell the others too. Wings of a butterfly equals. Shikamaru, thoughts. 15 minutes, I can get them to keep the gates open for 15 minutes. Good luck. The Nar rushes off to the gatehouse, leaving Naruto with Nabura and Korra by his side. Alright, ladies, Naruto smirks, this isn't training anymore, who wants first kill? By all means, Whiskers, take the lead, Korra teases. Alright, Naruto removes his orange hoodie, which Korra follows by removing her blue hoodie, leaving all 3 in black tops and their military lower wear, keep close. The 3 make a break for the gate that stops a quarter way down. Gunners. Keep firing. Make sure they can't fight back. Well, take care of them for good. And just like that, Naruto unleashes the hooks that fling him forward. The gunners freeze in horror as Naruto flies towards the closest titan's mouth. Suicidal freak. But. To their awe. Naruto spins. He cuts through the titan's head before attaching a hook to the back of its nape and slicing clean through. Time to not get outdone. Nabura, you ready? Whenever you're ready, Korra. The 2 girls dash and then zip. They fling themselves into the air. They tag team the next titan while Naruto goes after a different one. Fire. Support the crazy kids. Fire. Firing. Boom. Fire. Fire. Boom. Boom. Shikamaru joins in. Instead of using blades, he takes 2 muskets, aims each one at a titan's eyes, and fires. Bruire. The titan screams in rage only for Naruto to silence it. Not a moment later, the blonde, too, uses the muskets in the same way, but in assistance to Korra and Nabura, before taking care of his own problems and tossing his guns to Shikamaru, who brings them back to be reloaded. The garrison's morale rises, and they cheer even as the titans draw closer. Because the 4 strange teens take care of the titans with such efficiency that they now have a titan-free perimeter within the next 25 meters. Wings of a butterfly equals. After 5 minutes, Korra, Nabura, and Naruto land on the rooftops with grim looks on their faces, their eyes scan their surroundings, the cannons grow quiet, yet the titans are flowing en masse. I guess this is how the scouts feel when they return, Naruto mumbles, yet it is loud enough for Korra to hear. Look on the bright side, we survived our first real encounter. Naruto nods, that they did. Shall we fall back? Nabura asks. Yeah, let's have them close the gate. The threesome lands by the cannons where the gunners stand in stunned silence. Shikamaru jogs up to them before speaking. Alright, job well done, everyone, fall back behind the gates, he motions, and everyone follows suit. Oh, and Naruto Mikasa got off the boat. What? She got off the… No, what do you mean she got off? Where is she? Shikamaru sighs, follow me. The 2 teens make their way to the warehouse where they find Mikasa sitting on an overturned box, a relatively comfortable makeshift seat if they dare ask. Mikasa. What are you still oof? Naruto is tackled by the girl who looks up at him with teary eyes. Shikamaru chooses to leave them, he'll go make sure the gates are closed. This leaves Naruto and Mikasa as the only ones left, grabbing her shoulders and looking her in the eyes. Naruto asks, what are you still doing here? His tone, serious. I wanted to make sure you didn't die. Naruto sighs, foolish little girl, and then he hugs her, get on the next boat, he'll go get your parents and siblings, okay? But. No buts, Mikasa, Naruto says sternly, come. No. Naruto. You don't understand. They were there. They were in the market. They were there when it happened. Miss Carla grabbed me before I could do anything because Irin ran to find Armin. What? The room temperature drops, but it simply comes and goes like a ghost in the wind, once there, now gone. Instead, the chill is now in the blonde's tone, he'll check the market just in case, but they should have escaped, Mikasa. I'm 11, Naruto. Not 9. I know they might not. Then he'll still check. Naruto's tone holds no room for argument. Now, come, let's get you to Walrose first, I'll have one of my friends accompany you. At first, the girl grows silent, but when Naruto's hand lands on top of her, their eyes lock and her answer escapes her lips, oh okay. Exiting the warehouse, Naruto calls Kujisaki. The orange-haired girl jogs over with a raised brows up. Take Mikasa with you, guard with your life until she reunites with either her parents or a woman named Carla Yeager. When you get to Walrose, can you do that for me? Naruto's sudden shift from the common tongue to Oriental surprises both of the girls, but Nobara takes it in stride. Smiling down at the girl, Nobara replies, "I'm not good with kids, but I'll do my best." Why you're in Oriental? Yup. Now come, Naruto has important things to do. The two girls leave, but before they get too far, Naruto calls out to them, Kujisaki. Want me to let Korra join you? Do you have that little faith in me, Blondie? Naruto smirks, I don't like taking chances that are not in my favor. Alright, sure, just make it quick, the last boat's about to leave. Korra. Naruto calls, and just like Nobara, the woman in question comes jogging, join Nobara, please, watch over Mikasa for me, will you? Sure, but we're going on a date when you get back. Korra, the blonde warns. Alright, fine, I'll watch over her, but we're going on a threesome date when you get back and that's final. Naruto clicks his tongue, that's technically harassment and blackmail rolled into one, he says, shifting back to Oriental. Korra replies in kind, only because it's a game we enjoy with each other, Blondie. And then she jogs off to join Nobara and Mikasa on the way back to Walrose. For his part, Naruto jogs over to Shikamaru, glad to see the gates are closed, but now with the need to check the market square, Naruto asks Shika, any lifts nearby I can use? What for? I need to get up the wall, there's something I have to check. Shikamaru's eyes narrow, not thinking of jumping off into the other side, are you? Naruto grins, got a telescope. Groaning, Shikamaru motions for him to follow, which he does, until they reach the lift, then, the Nara shoves his 2 gas canisters into the blonde's hands, you clearly didn't bother refilling, and I never used mine, so just in case. Naruto stares down for a moment, he almost says, but I don't need it, but he catches himself, now, of course, he doesn't need it, he has chakra, but to the others, he is simply another human, a fairly gifted human, but a human nonetheless, which is why he smiles at his friend, a friend who truly cares for him, thanks, Shika. And off he goes. The lift starts, the travel time is a good 2 minutes or so until he reaches the top, meanwhile, his mind wanders to his 2 adoptive parents, how they welcomed him and taught him about the world, how they raised him as their own, how. Bam. His lift shakes. His thoughts are cut short. What the fuck runs through his mind? The shaking lift disorients him just a bit before he gets his bearings. And then he hears it. Bam. 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 No, not smashing, his eyes widen. Stomping, nay. Running. He looks down and Shikamaru get you. Boom. Crash. Ooh. Rage fills him. Naruto leaps from the lift, his eyes glowing red. As the god of chaos said, his connection with Kurama's chakra is not severed. And he falls. Fish. His hook catches the wall before swinging him to the threat below. His rage-filled cries echo. Shatter. The fuck, Naruto screams in rage, armor. Naruto's eyes widen. His skin sizzles. Steam surrounds him. Burns him. Like steam will stop me, you little shit. Jumping, he fires a hook to the Titan's nape. But they find no purchase, still a big mistake using steam, fuckwit. Naruto is forced to maneuver away, the steam consuming him. But it is not his intention to leave the growing area of steam, thinking fast, he takes out a handkerchief and wraps it around his lower face, while his eyes burn. But that won't stop him. For within the steam comes a blue glow that descends. Ready to make short work of the armored Titan's neck. But the blue glow goes towards the ground and vanishes without making contact. The steam-covered area is wide, visibility is almost zero, and after a good minute, it begins to lessen, and Naruto walks out teary-eyed but alive, if only thanks to his healing factor. He sends out a small pulse of wind chakra, just enough to keep the steam away from him and create a small breeze that slowly brings the remaining steam away and into the sky. Looking around, his face grows grim, walking over to a bloodied boulder, the screams of Titans entering through the back gates of Shingishina are drowned out by the look of Shikamaru's half-crushed body. There was no chakra to save him, and no hooks were with him, since he gave Naruto his gas. Then Naruto, glad to see you made it. Shika, I can save you, Naruto says, for the first time willing to expose his powers to the world. Nah, maybe it'll be a cloud when I go, he smiles, I'm sleepy. Naruto also smiles, but tears form and stream down his face, sleep, my friend. Shikamaru nods a sad smile, tears also forming but never flowing, tell Temari, tell Temari. Naruto smirks a sad smirk, I will, he locks eyes, and as Shikamaru closes them for the final time his rage is unleashed. For as the screams return and a titan stomps it way closer and bends down to grab the living man, Naruto snaps. The Titan's head vanishes. Naruto seemingly flies towards a Titan, making its way to the now last boat as the remaining people scramble on board. His hooks find purchase. Its head flies. Naruto heads to another one. And another. And another. 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 Another more. 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 Ooh-ree. The remaining garrison looks on in awe. Still. A few Titans escape him. But this spurs the remaining garrison into action. The people on the last boat look on in awe. Nabura and Korra look on in anger at the Titans, tears streaming down their faces. Yet they also glare in awe at the display, while hoping he kills the lot of them. Even Mikasa looks on in awe and… by the walls. Mikasa turns and her eyes widen. Miss Carla. Yes, Carla Yeager, she got off the last boat intent on following Mikasa and wanting to keep her safe before boarding this boat just before the girl. Wait, if you were here, then and indeed, before Mikasa can finish her train of thought, she sees the mop of brown and blonde hair behind the woman and their faces. One pair of eyes, wide in awe and hope. And another pair, in surprise, fear and joy. To the rest of the world, this day would be known as the day the walls fell, but to the survivors of Shingishina, a new name will be on their lips. Naruto Uzumaki, the oriental boy with blonde hair, blue eyes, and 3 whisker-like marks on each cheek, and he is covered in Titan blood, in respect of his oriental origins, a new moniker is bestowed upon him by the survivors. Drenched in steaming blood, Naruto stands atop Wolmaria, his gaze overlooking the Shingishina district. The last boat should be well away now, and the hole through the gate is plugged, albeit temporarily. And it won't last much longer judging by the steam rising from it. For you see, the hole is plugged by the now slowly evaporating corpses of Titans. The only thing keeping the Titans trapped within the district is the density of the corpses stacked into the breach, and by the walls is it dense. But such things are far from the blonde's mind. Instead, he closes his eyes, his senses are enhanced by chakra, and the following pulse he sends out confirms the grim truth. No one is left within Shingishina. Still, it cannot hurt to check on his adoptive family, if they are still there, that is, looking back, he sees the boat grow smaller and smaller. Now, well, the chance is low, the chance of someone having access to a telescope is still there, thus, he jumps. Inside the district, he falls for a certain distance before sticking to the wall, crouching, he rockets off with enough power to merely shake the wall without so much as a scratch, landing on a roof close to the market square. Naruto surveys his surroundings, bodies and boulders litter the streets, blood paints the walls. And the stench of rod and iron brings forth familiar sensations he hasn't felt in the last 4 years, 2 years, if Hess counting Sasuke's bloody death by his hands, but those memories are simply that, memories. The important time is the now he is living in. Hence he summons his clones who all know his mental command, spread out in search for them, before his gaze settles onto the destroyed gate of Shingishina, where the Sea of Titans seems endless. It shouldn't be possible, of course, considering what his clone saw when he sent it out to scout during his first year in this world, a whole world with technology that far surpassed this island, and yet, only this island seems to have Titans. Then again, his clone was sent on a simple quick reconnaissance mission, not one that had it walk amongst the outside world. And his gaze returns to the market square, dropping onto street level. He walks around looking for any sign of his adoptive family, and instead of feeling any sadness, his heart, mind, and soul simply go numb, for as he walked around the destroyed stalls, he noticed his family's stall, crushed by a rock. He didn't save them 2 years ago only for them to die by being crushed by a rock, but here they are, with a mental command. He wills his clones to disappear in puffs of smoke. He looks on in sadness. The upper half of Mikasa's father is gone, while Mikasa's mother Mrs. Ackerman's lower half is crushed by what Naruto can only assume to be his adoptive father's attempt to push the woman away. Even if, as the outcome shows, it was a futile attempt. As for his sisters, well… As his vision clouds, as his body shakes, and as the stomps of a few Titans draw near, he crouches down by Mrs. Ackerman's body and untangles one of her now cold and stiff arms from a bloodied cloth, her other arm extended, her hand holding her husband's severed arm. Sarada Ackerman, with her hollowed eyes, stares straight through Naruto's blue orbs, her head dented and her neck broken. As for Mikoto, all that is left is another bloodied cloth trapped under the rock, with chunks of meat splattered around. Mr. Ackerman, that man, that father figure in his last 2 years in this world, in this universe, he really tried to save at least the 2 of you, Naruto says as he looks at the empty shell that was once his sister, a sister in all but blood. Stomp. I'm sorry I wasn't here, he stands, may your souls find peace, feeling for the familiar pull in the pit of his stomach, he tugs back at the chakra of a being he has only used when fighting in the last great shinobi war, lend me your power, Son Goku, he says, and the power of the Yonbi, the four tails, comes forth. Chakra with the power of lava surges out into Naruto's now outstretched palm, but he holds it back. Instead, he splits it into the basic natures. Fire and earth, and he uses fire for his purposes. May your ash set you free. A torrent of flames roars as they engulf the bodies of four of his adoptive family members. Looking around, Naruto's hollow eyes lock with the closest titan, now only 10 meters away and bending down to grab him. I could easily seal these breaches, you know, Naruto hums before leaping over the hand and landing on it, while somehow looking down on the titan that still towers over him, but I won't, something tells me you're all important to the future of this war, and if I took care of all of you, something tells me I won't be able to find that soul that so-called God wanted me to find. That damn God that sent me to this world, and in a flicker, he vanishes, so, come, the titan screeches as it grabs its eyes while Naruto lands on a nearby roof, I'll show you how powerless you truly are against me, and then he vanishes. He could reappear back into the Trost district, yes, but questions will be asked, and they are questions he needs not deal with, instead, he reappears on Wall Maria before zipping down onto the inner side of the wall where one horse waits, it's no scouting horse, but it will have to do. Hiya. As he travels north the block gate behind him starts to reopen. And the roars and moans of the titan start to seep through. Wings of a butterfly . Darius Sackley stands. His chair clatters onto the floor. The two men stand ragged before him, their smiles slight as he seems to be looking at them. But his mind is not on them, instead, it wanders to the four special graduates who were on a boat to Shingishina. And then a thought strikes him, did you tell the scouts? We no, sir. And then, Zackley calms, I see, you bypassed them and went all the way to me, is that right? Why yes sir. We thought it would be appropriate that the head of all three military branches was to hear this news first. Zackley sits back down. One would expect an outburst, if that is all, you may leave, the two men expected to be rewarded. Sir, if I may. I told you to leave. But. Slam. Two soldiers of the military police branch burst into the room, Zackley slamming his fist onto his table, tends to have that effect, and the two garrison soldiers freeze. Zackley stands with a cane now in his hands, lock these two away, I want our fastest messenger in this office yesterday. Yes sir. The two MPs do as they are instructed. As the two men protest, Zackley looks at his pocket watch. The time is 40 minutes past 1800 hours, 1840 HRS 6:40 p.m. Wings of a butterfly . Above the gates of Trost, several green garrison soldiers drink the night away, one soldier, another face in the crowd, however, does not join them, he is junior to these men, but one with a noble view of his duty, and what better motivation than the newly arrived refugees to rekindle his hope that his station shall once again be viewed with high regard. So, it is to his surprise that he spots a small wisp of light in the distance. What in the three walls? And then he sees it, a blond man, clad in black, atop a horse, who goes there. This catches the attention of everyone within earshot. And the masses gather. At the gates, Hans stands at the forefront. His heart beats faster. 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 The chorus of celebration. The masses cheer. The blonde returns. Their savior. The blonde devil. And as for Hans. Hannah's heart swells. He is not the focus of the event, he is not the one being praised, but he, too, cannot help but swell with awe, hope, and pride at the young man entering the open gates atop a horse. One phrase becomes commonplace this night. Welcome home, hope of humanity, Kinpatsu no Akuma. Wings of a butterfly . Korra, Nabura and Mikasa wait for the blonde at the edge of the crowd, their cries helped in informing the trio, all the more did the massing of the people, Korra and Nabura are warriors, their expressions show as much, Mikasa, on the other hand, is still a 12-year-old girl, and so, when Naruto emerges from the crowd, the girl cannot help but tackle him. As for Naruto, well the blonde man has no idea how to exactly respond to this, but then they lock eyes. What about Papa? Mama? Naruto freezes. Sarada Mikoto. His eyes lock with hers and his silence is telling, looking over at Korra for a bit, the woman nods in understanding, Mikasa's eyes grow hollow. Mikasa. Nothing. Mikasa. Still nothing. Mikasa. The girl's head snaps, her eyes lock onto cerulean orbs. Naruto's next words are a whisper, I'm sorry. Her heart sinks, her grip on him tightens, she can't lose him too. By now, the crowd is dispersed although some stay nearby to listen in on anything. As for Korra, she has to gently pry the girl from Naruto before leaving the blonde and the orange head, while leading the girl back to Eren, Armin, and Carla. The other two early graduates give the two a short lace as they leave before Naruto speaks. Nabura, can you help me write a letter to Shikamaru's girlfriend? Nabura's gaze softens, sure. Wings of a butterfly equals. Knock 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 knock. The blonde man raises a brow, who is it? Commander Erwin, Premier Ackley sends a message, the voice says from beyond the door, Wall Maria has fallen. Erwin's chair clatters to the floor, what? Wings of a butterfly equals. Sometime later, while all the others sleep, Naruto remains awake, his thoughts go to the events that occurred earlier in the day, from the fall of Shingishina and Wall Maria to the death of Shikamaru to his return, and the letter in his hands, fucking hell of a day. The voice of two men disturbs his thoughts. Naruto Uzumaki. The blonde teen looks up from his finished letter, he finds two men with muskets on their shoulders, the military police. Yes, come with us. Wait, what? Naruto stands, why? Don't ask any questions, you're a soldier now, do as you're ordered to do. The teen's eyes narrow, understood. Wings of a butterfly equals. The next day comes far too quickly for the survivors' liking, whispers are spread about the blonde teen, of course, especially after his return from beyond Trost, from beyond Walrose, but as of this morning, not even his two fellow elite graduates have seen hide nor hair from him, murmurs of seeing him last night become talks of maybe he was a ghost and the like. Thus, their spirits once again sink. And only graver news follows. By the order of the royal family. A man in military uniform speaks atop a stack of wooden boxes, due to sudden influx of refugees, all able-bodied people, young and old, are to start tilling the land. Furthermore, to prevent food shortages. Daily rations will. His words are drowned out by the cries of outrage from the crowd. Korra clicks her tongue as she leans on the wall with her arms crossed, all refugees are immediately forced to work, huh? I call bullshit, Nabura says as she steps up beside her, you mean to tell me that for some reason, news of what happened reached Walsina yesterday, as in the day of the attack? Korra hums, not to mention, even the scouts don't seem to know anything about it yet. Ugh. Where's Naruto when you want him? Nabura storms off back to where the family is, her presence, however, is replaced by the older woman of the group. Excuse me, you're friends with Naruto, right? Korra raises a brow, Miss Yeager, right? She receives a nod, Korra, I don't think I ever took the time to introduce myself. Carla gives a shy chuckle, how polite, I don't suppose you can tell me anything about Naruto. What's there to tell? Sorry. I've only known him for 2 months, Korra shrugs, he is what you see, Hess friendly, but usually keeps to himself, I mean, Hess friendly. Very friendly, but there are a lot of things we still don't know about him. I see. Korra nods, all I can say is Hess definitely been holding back in training if his display yesterday is anything to go by, and then, her gaze goes up to the clouds, Shikamaru, the boy who died. I think Nabura would agree that perhaps he was closer to Naruto than either of us. Oh. Yeah, not like we can ask a dead man about the living, now, can we? I guess not, and Carla Yeager asks the question every survivor wishes to know, where is he, anyway? That is something that neither Nabura nor I know. Wings of a butterfly equals. Trost district, like all the other districts, is connected to the main walls, and, just like Shingishina, Trost's rear gate is the gate of Walrose whilst for Shingishina, its rear gate was of Wall Maria, and, it is behind this rear gate where more buildings can be found, albeit, far more than those behind the rear gates of Shingishina. Here, specifically in its more run-down areas, is a man clad in black with O.D.M. gear, but this man's version of the gear looks highly different from what the regulars use, and the man smirks at Naruto as the boy is brought before him. He stands at the entrance to a small rundown inn, his stubbled face gives him a rugged look, but his eyes are ever examining. And it is his eyes that scan Naruto's surroundings. The blonde is surrounded by the debris of abandoned houses which, Hess sure, will be repaired for the sudden influx of refugees. His gaze goes back to the blonde before him, flanked by the two men who fetched him. Yet, Naruto does not flinch, your men don't seem to have any manners or respect, stranger in black. Oh? The man is intrigued, you're outnumbered, and as if on cue, more men and women with muskets pop up from behind cover and outgunned. Naruto smirks back at the man, this is a pretty neat welcome, don't you think you brought more than enough men, Mr. M? Sorry, what's your name? My name isn't important, what is important is if you are willing to bend the knee, boy, I've heard a fair bit about your. I'm not sucking anyone's dick, that's for sure. The man can't help but stare. Oh, a funny man, eh? Oh. Sarcasm. You know it too. Amazing. What? Listen here, you little shit. No, you listen here. At this, the man in black can only stare with his mouth slightly agape. "I'm tired, I'm sleepy, I have a letter to deliver, and I already killed a bunch of titans before even making it back here. So. Unless you're actually worth my time, I suggest." His speech is cut short as he dodges the supposed surprise strike the two men flanking him try and deliver. They try and silence him before he jumps and sends them away with a mid-air split kick. DHWACK. What the? Naruto turns just in time to see Clang and O.D.M. hook pierces into a wall followed very closely by the Gear's iconic Z-Ib. Naruto tilts his neck just in time to dodge another hook before dropping to the ground and rolling away in time to avoid the oncoming man. Using his momentum, he flips himself right before noting a woman aiming at him with her musket. And his ears catch it again. The sound of the man accelerating towards him using the uncommon O.D.M. gear. Naruto sidesteps the man once again before grabbing one of the fallen men and holding him up just in time for the girl to fire her musket. Damn it. Not wasting his time, Naruto grabs the man's musket before aiming it at the immediate threat, the man with the odd O.D.M. gear, who is once again zipping at him and he fires. The attacking man's eyes widen. The musket ball grazes his skin, passes just above his ear, and hits the wall behind him. The stranger's reaction is understandable. "Hold your fire. Hold your fire. Everybody cease fire." He suddenly shouts with wide eyes and an even wider smile, "I've heard the stories, but to think there could be someone even better than an Ackerman." Ackerman? Naruto's eyes narrow while the rest of his senses remain on alert. "Penny Ackerman," he finally introduces himself. "Perhaps you've heard of my nephew? I hear he's pretty famous now." Naruto remains silent. "No. Well, that's fine, I suppose," Kenny says as he eyes the young boy in front of him. "We just want you to know one thing, Uzumaki-san." He notes how his sudden shift to addressing the blonde and Oriental didn't even faze the blonde. He continues, "And that is that the king has his eyes on you." "The king?" "Yes, the king. In fact, we've heard of your skill, and just now, we saw a glimpse of it. You can be certain that we will contact you again," he confirms before lighting a cigarette. "Now, off you go, you do still have family and friends to care for, after a." And then the air chills. Contrary to what Kenny and his anti-personnel group expected, Naruto did not shiver in fear when they mentioned his family and friends. Oh no, instead, it is they who shiver as the chill runs up their spine. "Listen here, and listen well, Kenny Ackerman," he practically spits the name in disgust. "You and your men will do well to leave my family and friends out of this, or else, I'm going after the royal family after I torture all these people here in the worst ways known to humans. You don't seriously think you want to play fuck around and find out, shithead? Or shall we leave things as they are?" Penny exhales. "Fine then, but we will contact you again." "Oh, that. I'm counting on it," and then, Naruto walks away. But the blonde doesn't miss the presence trying to conceal itself many meters away. Still, he pays it no mind. If the royal family is watching him, then perhaps that presence is one of their agents. Perhaps, but first, I need to go back to the others. Penny, for his part, watches the blonde leave with narrowed eyes. That kid, he has more combat experience than anyone within the walls. Wings of a butterfly . It takes Naruto the better part of the day to make it back to the now makeshift shelters where the refugees can be found. Many of them still stare at him in awe, some dare to say hi, smile, and or wave his way. He returns the gestures, once in a while going out of his way to help anyone he can. Occasionally, he also hears murmurs of "I guess he really did come back alive. I thought he was a ghost." Or something along those lines. Then he hears an old man's voice that calls out to him from the faceless crowd, "Hey, kid, where were you all day? A lot of people have been looking for you, especially those two gals and that family or some shit they're staying with." Naruto smiles. "Come again?" I said. The commotion saves the faceless voice. "Hey. Watch it." Naruto whips his head just in time to see a soldier, specifically an MP, shove a young-headed teen girl to the ground. The fuck? And then his eyes widen because the soldier doesn't stop there. Oh no, the soldier grabs what Naruto realizes to be a pot of still steaming soup. "Don't you fucking dare." And before he knows it, Hess already running. "Ah!" Naruto cries out as he manages to tackle the girl away, making him the recipient of steaming soup. But before anyone can do anything, before they can even comment or try and help him, Naruto gets up, slugs the solider on the chin, grabs the now empty pot, bashes it atop the soldier's head, grabs the still warm ladle, and whacks the soldier on the head with it, repeatedly. "You. Hit R. Hit a soldier. Hit of. Hit humanity. Hit your. Hit meant. Hit to protect. Hit the people. Hit fuckward. Hit." Naruto pants as his skin burns. His healing factor, however, makes it bearable. At least he won't have any scars. After all, if not even a chidori through his chest when he was 12 can leave a scar, why should steaming soup? But he pushes the thoughts of scarring and shitty humans away. Instead, he walks over to the still down teen who stares up at him in shock. "Are you alright?" The teen gives a hesitant nod before a hand is offered. They take it. "Why did he shove you down like that, anyway?" Her voice shakes. "I don't know." Naruto sighs and pats the teen. The girl, he guesses from her voice on her head, "At least you're safe in." "Hey." Another soldier shouts from behind him. At this, Naruto rolls his eyes and looks back to where the downed soldier lies unconscious. There, another soldier stands with two more soldiers flanking him. "You military police never learn." Naruto pops his neck. "Come at me if you dare." "At him." The two rush the blonde who grabs the discarded pot again and whacks one soldier with it, knocking him out, slugging the next, and before the third soldier, the supposed leader, can even think of charging in, Naruto spits on his face, making him recoil. The next thing the last standing soldier knows, Hess sent gasping for breath before crumpling to the floor, courtesy of Naruto's punch to his gut. Taking in a breath, the blonde asks, "Anyone else?" Silence reigns. "Good." He turns to go back to the girl, but stops. "Where did she?" "She left while you dealt with them," a bystander says. Naruto sighs and nods before making his way to where Mikasa and the others are. "Hey, wait, dude. Are you okay?" Naruto gives the concerned bystander a dismissive wave and heads off. No one seems to notice the pair of blue eyes following him from the shadows of one of the shelters. The eyes then drift to the wet stain on the ground and a very dented pot. Wings of a butterfly Naruto. Mikasa cries out as Naruto steps under the roof of their shelter. Not like the others have it any better. She receives an oof as she tackles the blonde, making the teen boy ruffle her hair before picking her up. The others watch him. Carla in relief, Eren in awe, and Armin with far more awe than Eren, Korra and Nabura are nowhere to be found. "Sorry for leaving without telling you, did you behave?" "Where were you?" "I had to talk with some people." Nabura arrives with a quizzical look, "And that took you the whole day?" "Military police." Naruto shrugs, knowing Nabura would understand. "Where have you been?" "Korra and I have been looking for you, duh." "Korra?" Naruto raises a brow. "Where is she, then?" "She's getting food. We had to ask Miss Yeager here to keep Mikasa in check. She'd have gone lost looking for you if we hadn't." Naruto raises a brow at Mikasa. "Really?" Her reply is to blush furiously and look away. "No way, really." Naruto laughs and ruffles her hair again. "I'm touched, Mikasa, but you don't know anything about tracking yet." She grumbles something unintelligible. "Come again." "I said." Mikasa takes a breath and then, "I guess he'll learn that during training." "Training?" Naruto blinks. "Huh? Yeah, I'm going to join the military with Eren and Armin." "Mikasa. We talked about this." Carla scolds the girl, but everyone else ignores her. Naruto smiles. "Yeah, in 4 years, sure. We're joining tomorrow." The blonde freezes for the nth time this day. "Huh?" Then he looks to Carla as if asking, "Is she serious?" Nabura leans on a leg with a hand on her waist and asks, "Where were you that you didn't hear the announcement?" "What announcement?" Nabura sighs. "They announced it this morning. From tomorrow onwards, anyone from ages of 12 and above is welcome to enlist. Anyone at age 11 is welcome as long they are either orphans or their parents accompany them, among many other things, of course, but those bastards left that for last on purpose." Naruto places Mikasa down, then "She's not going," and he takes a seat. "Naruto, she's already an orphan, she can." "No." Nabura takes a step back in shock while looking down at the blonde. "No." Simultaneously, she asks herself, "Did he just shout at me?" "She won't. Not until she's 12. Naruto's tone makes it final, but the pleading look of Mikasa and Nabura's questioning look pushes him to explain further. "First, she must train. That's precisely why she'll go enlist. It's for that reason she can train." "I'm not stopping her, Nabura. Not forever, at least. Just until she's 12. 12. Let her have one more year, just one. As a normal civilian." "Here's nothing normal about being an orphan to a Titan attack." "No, but she must learn to survive on her own first." "Oh, and what, y'all teach her?" "We're supposedly only given yesterday off. If it wasn't for that attack, we'd already be reporting to our stations." "She's smart, she'll catch on quick." "And what, pray fucking tell, will you be teaching her?" Naruto pauses, taking in a breath. He says, "I'll teach her the things I learned from where I came from, how to set traps, how to defend herself." "Those are all taught in the military, idiot." "You didn't let me finish." "Oh yeah? And what else can you teach her that isn't in the military?" "How to scale almost anything without the need for any gear." "Tell me, Nabura, can you do that?" "Of course, I can." "Can you pace yourself so that you won't tire? Can you duck and weave through buildings without flinching and second-guessing yourself? Can you climb a wall or tree so fast it's like breathing? If your gear breaks down, do you know to properly use your hook and wire to latch onto things with your bare hands?" Nabura remains silent. I will teach her everything I can before she enters. Once she starts joining the cadets, she won't have time for it anymore. Now is the best time. And how will you teach her? You'll be on scouting missions most of the time. I have my ways, Naruto says with finality before turning to Mikasa. Mikasa, can you wait for just one more year before joining? The girl remains silent, her eyes locked with his own. 1 year? One, no more, no less. Taking in a shaky breath, she locks eyes with him again. This time, her look is stern, and she nods. Fine, 1 year, then I will learn to kill titans. Good, that's all I can ask. We start your training tomorrow. Can we join? Naruto looks to the blonde who asked, a boy named Armin, a fairly timid boy if Naruto remembers right. No. What? All eyes turn to Eren. Why not? Eren. Calm down. Carla shouts. No. Why can Mikasa learn but not me or Armin? I thought you're all already signing up tomorrow. Naruto shrugs. You won't have time. You're not even allowed to leave camp until you graduate. Then why are you here? Naruto gives off an amused scoff at that. Right, I forgot, we never told you. He stands from his chair, looks down at the boy with murderous eyes, and says, we graduated far ahead of everyone else. We're that good. Yeah, right. That good. I guess that one guy that died was just a fake. A heavy smack followed by an equally heavy thud reverberates as all eyes widen at the two boys. The boy who is no older than 11 groans, while the other boy no older than 15 retracts his outstretched arm. You disrespectful little shit, Naruto says, walking over to Eren. Carla Yeager can only stare in shock. I don't see you grieving, so your dad must be alive. Your mom is here so she's alive, so that's that. Are you feeling lucky because you didn't lose anyone, huh? I also remember your crazy ass hating on and hitting people who disrespect the scouts. You mean to tell me that among humanity's finest, those scouts that died were weak? Silence fills the group, a few passers-by quickly shuffle away, some hearing the entire exchange, others only seeing what happened, but all try to move away from the blonde devil. And then the only missing person arrives. Yo, Korra greets, why's everyone so silent? Did I miss something? Naruto uses this opportunity to walk away. No, he replies, nothing of significance. Korra watches the blonde walk past her before looking around until her eyes finally settle on Nobara. The orange-haired girl groans and sighs before walking over and whispering the details to Korra's ear, and her reaction, well ain't this little shit a bitch, is understandable. Carla Yeager, for her part, just stares at her son before tears start to well in her eyes, not of pity, not even of feeling sorry for him. The only words in her head right now are where did I go wrong with you? Mom. But Carla does not speak, instead, she just sniffles and looks away. Usually, she'd defend him. Usually, but Eren's earlier words she cold blamed Naruto, not when she saw and heard everything firsthand. Mom, they just go join the military, Eren, maybe I'll change, I don't know what to do with you anymore. Korra sighs, he'll go after. No. The older teen looks down with a raised brow. He'll go. You sure, Mikasa? The girl nods before rushing off, she leaves the group with a hateful glare directed at Eren, her scarf trails in the wind. Wings of a butterfly equals. Naruto sighs as he walks around the makeshift shelters, his eyes dart from one thing to the next, and his face grows grim. The people don't feel it much yet, and he can't blame them since they're just happy to be alive, but Naruto sees it, the signs of food shortages are showing. For some, they sleep to stave off their hunger. Others can already be seen trying to sneakily rummage through the trash, mainly adults, but a few children are also among their number. Some have purposely starved themselves earlier in the day to allow others to eat that, or they never got their shares. There's no talk of food shortages yet, or at least last Naruto heard, but it's only a matter of time. They can try and hold on, sure, but it will come. Guess we were lucky our war lasted for only a few days. He thinks back to his time in his old world. Speaking of food shortages, his mind can't help but recall that pot of soup that was wasted earlier thanks to that soldier who was about to dump it on the girl. For fuck's sake, I knew the military police was shit, but wow, Naruto shakes away his thoughts on the matter. Well, most of his thoughts, anyway. His mind partly wanders to what happened to the girl he saved from scalding. Did she even get to eat? Naruto. The boy blinks. Oh. Mikasa, what are you doing here? I thought you were mad. Well, yeah, but what does that have to do with you running after me? I wasn't running after you. Naruto smiles and pats her on the head, just teasing, Mikasa, just teasing. The girl pouts before aggressively shaking her head to get his hand off her head. What she gets in return is a handsome laugh that makes her blush. Hey, anyway. What made you walk away like that? Huh? You're asking me that. Well, I mean. You mean you didn't hear what Eren said? Get it, okay I get it. Sheesh. Ha. The girl sends the blonde a glare but sighs and smiles as he laughs, idiot. Naruto shrugs, one of my charms, what he gets in return is a roll of Mikasa's eyes. Oh, don't be like that, now, come, let's go back, you should get some proper sleep. I don't really want to go back though. But why? Naruto blinks, I thought you guys were friends. Yeah, about that Mikasa trails off, she doesn't continue until Naruto clears his throat, sighing, she explains, he almost got me killed yesterday. He what? By some miracle, Mikasa continues, yeah, he ran off to find Armin, a titan got me, and only now does Mikasa feel the sudden silence as Naruto stares at her, No, don't mind me, he says whilst nodding and crossing his arms, continue. Well, that's when Han saved me. Taking in a deep breath, a very deep breath, Naruto asks a question so casually that Mikasa has a hard time discerning if he's serious or not, can I beat him up? I wanna beat him up, can I beat him up? Is that legal? And no. I mean I won't really care, but. You'd. But I don't think it's worth it. Rolling his eyes, Naruto says, police, Mikasa, for you, anything is worth it, and for some reason, the dense guy misses her, now, red flushed face, but alright, I won't beat him up since you ask me to, Hess already on my to beat up when necessary list though, just saying. Giggling, Mikasa looks to the sky and sighs, Naruto. I wanted to run to Otu-san and Aka-san would things have been different if I did. Naruto gives a silent sigh before scratching the back of his head, why are you so curious, Mikasa? I want to know how they died. Right Yaur 11, you went through the attack, and Yaur and Ackerman, there's not much point in lying. What, you mean there's some point in lying? Naruto pauses, when did you become interested in word games? I'm a girl who lived with you for the past 2 years. Fair enough. I'm still waiting, Naruto. Giving a defeated groan, Naruto concedes, a boulder crushed them. That's it. Well, yeah. How did you find out? I went to the other side I thought that if they were still alive if even one of them was still alive, I'd still have a family. I see you didn't have to do that. I told you, nothing's off limits for me if it's for you. That's not what you said. Same meaning, don't get technical with me, little girl. Fine, but when I'm a big girl, you better watch out. Really? Yeah. Alright, he'll be waiting. Mikasa smiles, let's go back. I thought you said you didn't want to go back. You did it to me. That's unfair. What's more unfair, the fact that you're trying to be unfair and calling fair unfair, or the fact that I'm taking my fair shot at? Stop it. My brain hurts now. Does little Mikasa want me to kiss her boo-boo? No. But Naruto does it anyway. Thus, her face is now 10 shades redder, I hate you. Sure, Naruto laughs, I'll see you back home, I forgot I had something to take care of. But. No buts, Mikasa, it's safer there with Korra and Nabura. Should you bring me to them, then? Naruto ruffles her hair with a slight chuckle, I won't need to, trust me, this time, it'll be sure to protect you, besides, it's just over there, he points to their shelter, a roof over their heads, but no walls save for the wall the roof is attached to, and the occasional foundation pillars holding it up, he'll watch you until you get to them. Mikasa sighs and lets a prolonged and defeated, okay. He watches as she walks over to the group of 2 boys and 3 women, she gives him a shy wave good night which he returns with a smile, once she lies down, he turns away, and his smile fades, come out. Nothing. Too public, perhaps. Naruto's eyes narrow, he walks onwards to a more secluded place, an alley with a lot of crates scattered about, to be specific, last chance, or do I have to get violent? A silhouette appears from the shadows before walking out from them, a hooded figure, but not a threatening one. They are stealthier than anyone I've ever met during my time here. Thank you. A girl, I see, you're welcome, now, I doubt you were stalking me just for me to give my compliments, what do you want? In response, the hooded girl locks eyes with him albeit barely, but the blonde man can feel it, I meant that I wanted to thank you for earlier, and Naruto's eyes understandably widen in realization. You're the girl from earlier. Yes, Wait, so were you able to eat? Were you able to eat? What? Look, guy spilled soup, you vanished after I beat him and his friends up, so now I need to know if you were able to eat. The girl blinks, yes. Good, Naruto smiles, and the smile is quickly replaced by a scowl pity about the soup though, could have fed more people if he didn't waste it. And the girl just continues to look at him incredulously, is this how he always is? So, what's your name? I think that's the second time you said that. Wait, you're keeping count. Does it matter? I don't know. Great. So, what's your name? Isn't it common courtesy to introduce yourself first? At this, Naruto's eyes narrow, but he smiles nonetheless, I haven't had someone tell me that for a long time, he muses partly to himself, alright, which one do you want? Excuse me? I'm just messing with ya, name's Naruto. And the girl remains silent, and the silence does not break until she finally asks, "Wait, that's it?" The blonde shrugs, "Isn't it supposed to be your turn now?" And the girl sighs, defeated, she lowers her hood, this time allowing all her facial features to come into the light. She has blonde hair, eyes that Naruto can only describe as enchanting as they reflect the moonlight, and what he can only guess is a mix of emerald green and cerulean. Her face is, well, definitely that of an attractive girl that makes Naruto blush, just a bit, of course. Looks like she and Mikasa will grow to be beauties one day, a rogue train of thoughts goes. Annie? Annie? Yes, Annie, and thank you again for today. Naruto smiles, of course. By the way. How's your back? Naruto trails off for a moment before smiling again, alive, I've been through worse. Let me see. Nah, he waves her off, his smile almost disarming her, almost, it's probably pretty scared, don't want you to see something with a different level of disgusting, I've already been through Shingishina. And here, Annie's eyes soften before she shakes her head and pulls out a can of cream, I got this for you. Oh. Thanks. Annie raises a brow as Naruto puts his hand out, as if asking her to give him the cream, you do know you can't really reach your entire back by yourself, right? Naruto laughs, I have friends, didn't you see when you were stalking me? What I wasn't stalking you. I was following you until I could give this to you. Stalking me, yes. Annie groans, are you always like this? Naruto hums, I never bothered to check, really. And Annie, predictably, sighs, come on, turn around, I'll put the cream on you. Nah, you don't need to. Come on, it will only sting a bit. I told you, but Naruto is cut off as Annie suddenly grabs his shoulder, spins him around, practically pushes him to sit, and lifts the back of his shirt and pauses. I think I should have been clear, Naruto says, his tone now less carefree and more somber, I don't need it. Instead of asking any of the many questions now swimming in her head, Annie just falls silent. After a few moments pass between them, she finally speaks with a sigh, you could have easily avoided me, you know. We all saw how you fought yesterday. Naruto lets out an understanding and prolonged ah before nodding, and, your point being? I mean. That someone like you could have easily taken care of yourself earlier today, but didn't because you knew it would cause more trouble than it's worth. Your silence is telling. For what it's worth, I think the way you beat them up was better than what I would have done. Well, they deserve it. Do you think I can put my shirt back down now? Oh, alright, of course. Naruto stands with a smile directed at the girl, this one is more teasing than anything, don't worry, I won't ask, we do what we have to for us to survive, and Annie's eyes widen at those words, but in exchange Naruto's words are caught in his throat as Annie sends him a seriously deadly glare, you didn't even hear me out yet, what's with those judging eyes, huh? Glaring in silence for a few more moments, Annie concedes with a sigh, continue. Join me, tomorrow, I'm training someone before they enter the military. Huh? Yeah. No, I mean why me? Well, duh. You're skilled in hand-to-hand already. Especially against bigger people, what are you 11? 12. 11. Even better. The one I'm going to train is 11 too. Ugh, you're annoying, I shouldn't have bothered. Well, yeah, but hey. She needs a friend her age, a real friend. I don't like friends. That means you don't have any. Exactly. Great. You two are a perfect match. How does that? You two can be each other's first friend s. Or something. I just said I don't like friends. Have you tried having friends? If I said yes. Then you'll have to tell me why you don't like them. If I said no. Then you don't have much to base not wanting friends on. Huh? You don't have a reason to not like friends if you haven't tried, I mean. Annie sighs, friends betray each other. Not only fake friends or when the other one has no choice, usually, it comes down to the point if they're shitty people or not. People are always shitty. So that for today friends, see next video.